I am super happy with the camera tonight. I think I have found the best lighting that I want to do going forward on stream a little bit. At least for now. We'll see if I change my mind. But if you guys remember, like a couple streams ago, I told you guys I got a new lens for my camera, which I was super happy about. And check this out. So actually what I just did is I removed some of the purple lights in the background. Don't freak out though. So there's less purple lights, but there's still like the subtle purple light behind the couch. It's a little bit more subtle, and the detail just, it feels cleaner on stream. So check this out. What's going on? How does this look? I think it looks really smooth, dude. Like I think this is the best my camera's ever looked in like a hot minute. Like the background is like blurred. We got like the purple lights. I'm very silhouetted. It feels nice. Sorry, I'm film major here, right? So it's cool, man. I'm really stoked about the setup right now. It feels just like, it feels nice, and I don't have like a billion lights going on. Like I could turn on the other purple lights, but I don't think I want to. I think what I actually want to do is add sort of like my plan before, like maybe keep this purple there because that looks really cool, but then maybe like add something either on the plant or something over here where it's like more of like an orange glow, or just something that's a little bit more subtle so it's not as like harsh purple and red. Granted, I like the purple and red for certain things, like for Star Wars reactions, that kind of makes sense. It just feels nice, but for like chilling out on stream, this feels pretty good right now. So I don't know. I'm really excited about the stream tonight, guys. I'm
Gamers,
stoked. I feel like it's been a bit.
I announced that I have finally purchased a PS5.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. PS5 is just my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. Look, I grew up, I have an Xbox controller. I love Xbox. I grew up with Xbox. I played 360. That was my jam. I actually never bought a PS3. I was 360 gamer. And then PS4 generation, PlayStation won me over. I still love all the, like I have every console except, like I own one of each console, but I don't actually own a Series X. I've just stuck with PS5 this generation because everything that I really want to play is on that. And then usually when there's something that I want to play that's on Xbox, usually I can play it on my PC. So I'm kind of good. But dude, yeah, PS5, you're going to love it. If you just got one, highly recommend playing Astro's Playroom. Check out Astro's Playroom for free, right? And check out like all the stuff that the controller can do. You're going to love it. It's like the best thing about it is just seeing all the things the controller can do and what the console can do. It's really nice. It's definitely one of my favorite consoles in recent memory for sure. So yeah, no like, I don't know, no biases or anything. It's just like, I like it. I like the PS5 a lot. I really do. Valcro, thank you for the reset, by the way. I appreciate it. 27 months, dude. Thank you. And also Owen, thank you for the 42. 42. When I see the number 42, I always think of Lost. Sorry. But 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. The numbers, they're in my brain forever. Oh my God, there's literally like a bug on my wall. Oh no. It's not like a weird bug. It's like one of those like little skinny bugs. How did you get in here? Uh-oh. Hey, bro. I'm gonna have to kill this thing. Or it could chill. A silverfish? It's like one of the, yeah, it's one of those like little skinny bugs. Like it doesn't like creep me out as much. It's not like a roach or anything. It's just like a little like, it's pretty big actually. Let me see. How did you get in here? What the heck, dude? I don't know how this happens. Dude, I don't know. I could go for the squish tactic. He's just chilling. Yeah, I just don't want him to like, or her to lay eggs or something. Bro, that's crazy. I got it. Rip the homie, chat. I'm so sorry. It had to be like that. Hold on. Chat, I went on and put on socks because I know you guys were looking at my feet, you bunch of weirdos. I know what you were doing. All right? Every time I walk back there and I'm not wearing socks, somebody goes, ooh, ooh. Calm down. Super Mario or Super Nintendo World, sorry. I went to Super Nintendo World yesterday, chat. It was pretty fun. I bought the shirt. I don't know. I've been there a couple times, but it was really freaking cool. I always love going there. Just a good vibe, you know? Have you seen all the Sony crossovers coming to Destiny 2? No, I haven't.
Spinning platform expert. Still forgetting about the front door.
You can finally look like Kratos soon. Wait, you can do that? That sounds sick. That sounds awesome. Excuse me. That sounds sick. Cover my eyes, don't worry. Yeah, I got you. Dwarf said, how goes it, Mr. Spinning Platform Expert? Still forgetting about the front door? What is Dwaner talking about, guys? Dwaner, what is that in reference to? Is that in Zelda? What did I do in Zelda? Spinning Platform Expert? Still forgetting about the front door. What does Dwaner mean? My little skip? I can't remember what happened, dude. I'm losing my mind. It's been 2 days since we played Zelda. I'm already forgetting what happened. What did I do? My invention? Oh, yeah, the recall thing. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, the recall thing where I got up. Yeah. Oh, dude, that was sick. That was like, that was one of those moments that cemented for me that Zelda is a 10 out of 10 game, probably. like I just don't know what other game I can do that in, you know? That was really cool. I'm excited to play more, to see if I can do more weird stuff like that. It'd be fun. Just your brain getting old? Probably. Honestly, at this point, probably. Dwaner, thank you for the resub again, man. I appreciate it. They add armor sets inspired from Horizon, God of War, and Ghost of Tsushima for what? Whoa. Thought I saw something outside. Anyways, for Destiny? That's pretty cool. Didn't they do like a Halo collab though at 1.2? I swear that like the Halo CE pistol was in Destiny at one point. Or am I going crazy? I swear they did that. Which I thought was a weird roundabout, you know, way for Bungie. Yeah, that was pretty cool. JC, when you finish Zelda, you need to see the crazy things people made on Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, I've already been seeing it, to be honest. Like, I can't escape it. It's just on my Twitter, like, all the time. I'll just see random things that people are doing. I'm like, what in the world? It's crazy, man. It's really cool. It really is like, I don't want to get into like a spiel about UGC. Do you guys know what I mean by UGC? Like user generated content. It's like when you do UGC correctly, when you make something where people can take it and run with it in a certain way, it just elevates your game to like a whole other level. Like not every game in the world needs UGC, but when you get it right and when it works out the right way, it is just, oh, it's unbelievable. Because I totally understand there's some games, it's like, all right, they want to make a crafted experience and they want to play what the developers intended and all this kind of stuff. But I love the idea that the developers intended for all these people to play Zelda and just go, okay, what can you do in this room, Link? What can you jump on? What can you recall in the right way? What can you build? You know, yeah, like Halo 3, right? What can you do? Like there's moments in Halo 3, it's not only UGC, but Forges, but like even in the campaign, there's just moments, like sandboxy moments where I'm like, I'm not supposed to get a vehicle over here, but I'm definitely gonna try to because the Halo sandbox will allow it. That's like the heart and soul of what made the Halo campaign so fun for me. And how every single time you play them, they feel different because there's always a different experience that a player kind of creates in some ways. And that takes, you know, itself to another level with Forge and, you know, Fortnite's doing Fortnite Creative and all that kind of thing. Like there's a lot of like really cool stuff going on right now in the gaming industry with UGC. But that being said, am I smart enough to make something amazing every single time in Zelda? Probably not. But it is cool that you can outthink the game in some ways. It's wild how vastly better Tears of the Kingdom is. Yeah. I feel that too. It just really feels like Breath of the Wild was like a prototype, you know? If it works, it works, yeah. Also, chat, like, I'm just happy to be back on stream, to be honest. If you guys can't tell, I'm in like a better mood, for sure, since this past week. I feel definitely like I'm in the boat of like, okay, let's get back into the rhythm of streaming. Let's go. I really want to do a daytime stream tomorrow. I'm sorry they've all been, oh my God, I'm sorry they've all been like nighttime streams, but holy, that's 100. That was 100, dude. Oh my God. What? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Hey man, I just wanted to say you're a freaking badass and I can't wait to watch more streams. Also, I finished Final Fantasy XIV. Jesus Christ, I understand why you play the hell out of that.
Mike, you finished? Hold on. Hold on, chat. First of all, get some freaking heart from the chat. $100, dude? I don't deserve that, man. Thank you so much, brother. Seriously, like, you're insane, dude. Like, that is so much at the start of the stream. What in the world? I don't get this is like, hundo bombs don't, that doesn't happen anymore. Like maybe from Namu, but like that doesn't happen half the time for me. Like half the time, like hundo bombs is like old zombies days, bro. That's crazy. Thank you so much. Sometimes we'll get a huge dono from Namu because Namu will meme around, but dude, Mike, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God. I just want to read this again really fast. I want to make sure I get this clear what you're saying. Hey man, I just want to say you're freaking badass. Appreciate you, dog. Can't wait to watch more streams. Also, I finished Final Fantasy XIV. Are you saying that you finished Final Fantasy XIV like the MMO? Or do you mean Final Fantasy 15? Like, how did you finish the MMO? Did you put like 3,000 hours into it? How? I need to know how. I put so much time. You finished the MMO? Like you went A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, was it? What's after that? Stormblood? Shadowbringers? And then, or are you just A Realm Reborn, Mike? What did you finish? I'm so curious. Like, did you do like all the expansions yet or no? Cause like, dude, that'd be it's so many hours. It's so many hours. I feel like I streamed like what, like 30 streams and I still didn't finish the first expansion. When you finish MMO, you're never truly done. True. True. There's a new patch coming out, so soon I'll have to finish it again. True. True. I need to get back into it, man. Oh, close to finishing A Realm Reborn. Oh. Mike, listen to me right now. Listen to me. You are going, like, if you like A Realm Reborn is kind of like very standard story. And I'm saying this as someone who didn't even finish all the other expansions. But Heaven's Ward, like the first expansion after Realm Reborn, the story just gets amazing, like out of nowhere. It's crazy. So keep going. Please tell us your progress because I finished the Heaven's Ward. I think I finished the main DLC or the main expansion, but then all the post patch quests I didn't for A Realm Reborn. What was the freaking chart? Do you guys remember the chart? I want to see if I can find it again. What was it? Final Fantasy 14 main mission chart. I want to find this again. Where is it? I have to find this image. What could get crazier? Dude, trust. Okay, look, this is old now. You have to see this. We have to bring this up. This is the perfect stream to talk about this. All right, listen, this is old now, but I just found it. Okay. I don't even know if can I zoom on this? Oh yeah. All right, let me make sure my PC is plugged in and everything. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Check this out, chat. So, okay, Mike, I'm about to blow your mind. All right? I'm about to blow your freaking mind. All right? Also, chat, for anyone who's just interested, we're talking about the MMO of Final Fantasy 14, right? I used to show this on stream all the time. This is also old, I think, because now there's Endwalker, right? So this is old. There's still one entirely new one, right? But look at this. This is this is every main mission in Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. Listen, Mike, you're literally here, dog. You're literally here. You're here. It's crazy. So like it's absolutely unreal. Like, oh my God, where do I, okay, like just look at this for a second, right? So you finish all of 2.0, right? Because there is no 1.0 because they deleted that because that's when they rebooted the game. But you finish 2.0 and then it's like, all right, now you got to do the 2.1 to 2.5 quests, which is like the post quest or whatever. I don't know how it works. I'm not really sure what you classify them as. And then there's like the raids and stuff like that, right? And there's like alliance raids, relic weapons, like stuff like that, trials to do. Here's where I am, okay? After like, I don't know how many hours. I have no clue. I got to here. So I finished all of 3.0. So I finished this whole column and I'm literally right here at the start of 3.1. That's where I finished after what, like 30 streams? Maybe not 30 streams, maybe like 20 streams. Isn't that crazy? But here's the thing. Here's what's good about this MMO is that, like, you know how people with like Destiny or something, I know Destiny's not really an MMO in the same way, but like, you know how Destiny, it's like, oh, they have to sunset some of the quests. It's like, oh, even the whole campaign of Destiny 2 just doesn't exist anymore in the game. That's not the case with Final Fantasy 14. Like, you load up Final Fantasy 14 and you can start, I mean, you start from the beginning basically, if you want to, and you go through 2.0 and you can do just main quest for hundreds of hours. And that makes the game so accessible, to be honest, for me. Like, getting into an MMO like later, like in its lifespan, normally you don't know what the hell's going on, all that kind of stuff. And sure, you can be overwhelmed, especially at the start. But one thing's for certain though, you can just go to that main quest icon over and over and over again and just keep on going and continue the story, which is cool. And it has apparently one of the best stories in gaming. So throwing it out there, it's kind of like a huge Game of Thrones-esque novel of main missions. Multiple novels, probably multiple books. I would classify every single expansion as like a book in some ways, you know? And there's an entire other one. Shadowbringers is not the last one. There's Endwalker, but this is this chart I looked at before Endwalker came out. Crazy. If you want a game to know life, there you go. There you go. It's really funny. And I really loved it. I really wish I could, I want to get back into it. The problem is I'm going to have to wait until Final Fantasy 16's out. I can't like, so put it to you this way, on the side right now, I'm playing Final Fantasy 15 off stream. Who knows? Maybe I'll stream like the last mission of it or something at some point, but I've been playing that off stream. Still kind of in the same spot. I haven't really like caught up too much. You know, it's completely unrelated to 16, so don't even worry like about that if you're playing on Gang 16. But I'm just playing because I just want to play with what the last recent one was.
Oh, I'll put this to use.
The chart is the definition of Persona players.
It honestly is, dude. But it's probably longer. Oh, it's definitely longer. It's like one expansion's like a Persona 5. Probably. Maybe two. Maybe two expansions is Persona 5, you know? Maybe. I don't know. I'm telling you, man, it's long, dude. It's long. It takes a while. But don't be intimidated by it, because you can treat it like books, you know? Like, oh, this is the Song of Ice and Fire. This is a Realm Reborn. This is like, it's kind of like a whole new ball game every single time. Pretty cool. But yeah, what I was gonna say is, so I wanted to geek out about this on stream because I'm so sorry, chat, but you're gonna have to bear with me. As I've told you guys multiple times, I think I might be annoying you at this point as a streamer, as someone that you may or may not have a parasocial relationship with. But I think you might be annoyed with me, you know, because I constantly talk about Final Fantasy 16 like all the time on stream. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be game of the year for me. I'm like, I just know. I don't even know how to explain it. Every single time I see gameplay of this game, and today they had like a massive preview event, or an embargo lifted of all this stuff from a preview event that happened like a week or so ago. They released all this like new information, new interviews, all this kind of stuff. I'll look at with you guys a little bit here on the stream because I just want to geek out about it. But like, I'm just sitting here, I'm like, like, chat, I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I did not stream during the day today. And here is why. Here's one of the main reasons. There's multiple reasons, but the main reason why, genuinely, is I watched Final Fantasy 16 gameplay all day. Like, I think I just entered my inner nerd and I was like, I'm going to watch every single, like, because there's all these like news outlets had like podcasts about it. Like, Kinda Funny Games, they did like a whole 1 hour podcast about it where they were talking about their thoughts. Easy Allies did their 1 hour thing talking about their thoughts. I literally just like, oh, I'm like, oh, it's lunchtime. Well, I woke up late today. Because why not, right? Unemployed. I woke up late today. I got lunch, I got some coffee, and I just sat here. I kid you not, chat. I was just on this couch, and I was like, listening. I was just sitting here listening to Final Fantasy 16, sorry, Jesus. I was just like, just vibing. Like, I was just vibing listening to it. And I don't know, it was great. I'm really hyped for the game. I think it's gonna be really hard to like, I think the gaming media in general, it's gonna be really hard to top Zelda. I feel like Zelda, a lot of people are already like, oh yeah, it's the Elden Ring, it's game of the year. At the end of the year, Zelda's 100% gonna win because look at all the stuff you can do in the game. That's really cool, right? That being said, I don't know why, but I just have this feeling that when I get to Final Fantasy 16, I'm gonna be in love with it. And it may not be like, you know, 11 out of 10 masterpiece, but I think it's gonna be one of those games that I really, really like gel with, and it's my sort of favorite game of the year. Does that make sense? It's like Sonic Frontiers is like a good example of something like that. I don't want to compare Final Fantasy 16 to Sonic Frontiers, very different. But like, there are things in Sonic Frontiers where like, I can't even like put words to why I like that game. Like on like a rating scale or something, I would like, you know, some outlet would probably look at Sonic Frontiers and be like, you know, it's got like, you know, the Kool-Aid, it's got like an open world, kind of like Breath of the Wild, it's got like this stuff and this stuff. And then I'm over here like, oh my God, they literally have like the music. Oh my God, like the music in these scenes is crazy. Like, oh my God, did you see when he went supersonic like 6 times in the game and I'm freaking out. And we just like my reaction to that game was like, it was like a dream, dude. Like I did not think we would ever see like an edgy Sonic game in that way, like ever again. And the fact that they did that was just nuts. Like it was just blowing my mind. So it's like, I don't think Sonic Frontiers is a 10 out of 10, but it was like a game that I'm just like, dude, this is going down as one of my favorite gaming moments in history was when Undefeatable started playing, dude. When that started playing, I was like, this is crazy. I was like, this is nuts. Like, I still this day, like someone said this on Twitter recently. They were like, oh, like someone was like, oh, I love JC, except for that time that he like debated with me on Twitter about Sonic. And I was like, what? And I was watching like their thread or what they were saying, and somebody was like, oh yeah, he was debating that Sonic Frontiers should have won an award. And I'm like, yes, dude, for music, bro. The music. How did it not win an award, dude? That was the craziest soundtrack I've ever seen. And it was so surprising. Like, what? There were multiple bangers. Multiple. Like, it's insanity. The open world music was insane. The like, just, oh my God, the edgy, like, supersonic music. The main theme. Oh my God. It was just, oh, God. But anyways, regardless of that, I thought it was really funny, but I think Final Fantasy 16 is one of those games where, like, I can totally see why it wouldn't gel with everybody. Same thing was like Sonic. Sonic is not for everybody, I don't think. Like, there are definitely people that are gonna look at Sonic and be like, I don't get that. I don't get why this kid's freaking out about it. It's like when Asmongold, do you remember like Asmongold like called me out on it? Where was that clip? Bro, I gotta find that clip. Yeah, this, dude. This, bro. Dude, literally like this. This.
Context of it being Sonic the Hedgehog? Bro, they 100% know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. This is amazing. That's the best thing about it. This is how you surprise and delight fans. Genuinely the best Sonic moment.
No, Twitter, please. Twitter, please work, bro. No.
Genuinely the best Sonic moment.
No. Why is... Dude, Twitter, are you good? Twitter, I'm going to have to reload you. Dude, if there's anything that I want Elon Musk to do for Twitter is please, God, give me a video player that actually works. That would be great, Elon. Thanks. Let's see if this works this time. I don't know. It might not work because it's so old.
Genuinely the best Sonic moment.
Dude, it's not going to load. No. I want to know. I want to know what he said. I forgot. It's been so long. Wait, maybe I have it on my computer. Maybe if I type Asmin. Surely I did that. Like, surely I made the file on my computer Asmongold, right? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. I did. I found it. Oh my God, dude. I know how I name things. All right, here we go, chat. Because Twitter isn't working. Here you go. Here you go.
In the surprise and delight. That's the best thing about it. This is how you surprise and delight fans. Genuinely the best Sonic moment in the last 10 years when the song played. The amount of goosebumps I had, oh my God. And look at the guy who said this, okay? Open image and new tab. This is exactly the kind of guy that used to watch these montages. This guy was the same guy in high school that was sitting next to me watching these fucking montages in the computer lab. Abso-fucking-lutely, man. Because the Sonic the Hedgehog, fucking, the people running this franchise 100% know their audience. I love it.
That was one of my favorite clips of Aswin ever. I know it's about me, but like, I just like how he's kind of making fun of me, but like in a good way. He's like, you know what? They totally get their audience. Like, they totally get it. They totally get it, dude. Yeah, that's where the Zombies player lol came from. Yeah, someone wrote in the chat, Zombies player lol. So, yeah, I mean, that to me is like, it's similar to how I feel with Final Fantasy 16. Like, I even tweeted out, let me see if I have also the clip on my computer. What did I do? FF16. No. What is it? Dude, I need to know. I need to know what I did. Let me just go to videos and go recent, because I definitely made it recently. Oh, is it this?
Dominance?
No, it's not this. Hold on. Boom, bum, 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 bum. Oh, it's this. I found it. But yeah, like, so I've been like, you know, and then I made like this montage, or not montage. I made just this clip, and I was like, what if I put the Sonic... Oh my God, chat, I hate you. What if I put the Sonic Frontiers music behind Final Fantasy 16? It fits. It's the same thing. It's like literally like the same vibe. Like, it's the same vibe, dude. So like, I don't know. If someone could help describe what that is that I feel when I look at Final Fantasy 16, when I look at Sonic, when I look at games like that, what is that? Because that's definitely like my favorite thing ever. I don't even know how to describe it. Is it just cool? Is it just that looks cool? Is it just, oh my God, it's playable? Like, actually it's playable? Like, no crying, it's playable, but like, that's crazy, it's playable? Is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know, chat. Game Euphoria. Mike, by the way, dude, thank you again for the 100, and thank you for the 5 extra. You didn't even have to do that, man. Thank you so much. I just want to call that out again. You're absolutely insane. But yeah, where's Winter? Hey. What's up? Okay. You're just gonna go behind my setup? All right, don't shock yourself. Okay. Yo!
I'm so torn on Zelda. I love the heck out of it so far. 10 tenths. But I have a strong feeling that once the novelty of what they pulled wears off, it's not gonna feel as fun. Will it be as replayable as classic Zelda games? Also Dark Souls 1 before FF16?
Damn, that was heavy. Khaled, that was heavy. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, maybe the novelty will wear off. I don't know. I need to put more time into it. I at the moment I don't. Let me get the music on again. But at the moment I don't have that feeling. But I didn't play the classic Zelda games either, so I don't really have a lot to compare that to. Also, Dark Souls 1 before Final Fantasy 16, there's no shot. I'm so sorry. There's literally, if I played Dark Souls 1 before playing Persona, this chat would, I would be dead. I might not exist. Like, I think God might come down and just like snap me out of existence on the chat's prayers. I don't know what I'm saying. You'd lose your head. Yeah, like everybody wants me to play that. So but I want to play Dark Souls. But here's the thing. What I like doing a lot is I like changing the kind of game that I'm playing, you know? Like, oh, like we're playing a Souls game. Now we're playing Uncharted. Now we're playing, you know, Minecraft. Didn't do that, but you know what I mean? Like do something kind of different. And I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it would be, it already, like Final Fantasy 16 already scratches whatever that itch is for me of like parrying and dodging and stuff like that. Even though it's a little bit different, it's not like a Souls game or anything. So it kind of feels like something that already is in that route. But I'm not gonna not play Dark Souls 1 through 3. I really want to, because those games, all the other games that I've played from them have been masterpieces, to be honest. So I don't doubt that I'll love it, and I don't doubt it'll be a really fun stream. It's something that I know in the back of my pocket that you guys would really enjoy. So definitely keep that in mind. And it's also way easier to stream than something like Persona. No offense, guys, but like it's way easier to stream like a Souls game. Like that, those just are so good for content. It's insane. But actually me. You know what I mean though? Like playing Elden Ring or playing like Bloodborne and like seeing somebody die and like the challenge of that is really entertaining to watch. But yeah, I don't know. I think we'll get there. Khaled's saying, like, technically it's one of the most impressive games. We're talking about Zelda. It's a flawless physics sim, and every aspect from combat to story is a major step up from Breath of the Wild. So I can't tell if it's just Gmod 2 Zelda Edition or a game that will stand at the time. I kind of feel that. Yeah, it's like, is the heart and soul of what Zelda is, does that still remain, even though you're doing all this, like, really drastically different things that feel... I don't know if you're exactly saying that, but that's what I kind of get from what you're saying, is that it's like, this stuff is really cool, but what do they do for the next Zelda? You know what I mean? Like, where do they go with Zelda after this? Are they going to always have to have a building mechanic, or people are just going to be upset now? You know what I mean? Like, that's where it gets tricky. Like, you open that can of worms. What is the Zelda franchise now at that point? Are you going to ever get that classic, you know, I've never played, but I've seen it. I know how Zelda works. Like, at least I think. Like, we'll have to see, you know? We'll have to see what they do going forward. I feel like, you know, there's going to be a moment where the expectation is going to be so high and they're not going to be able to hit that. Like, it's going to happen. But they continue to always break the ceiling somehow. So that's cool. But I don't know. I feel like, weirdly enough, I think that there's a lot of sentiment with Khaled with again, like, because I want to talk about some Final Fantasy stuff at the start of the stream. I think Final Fantasy 16, there's a lot of sentiment on that front as well from like the classic Final Fantasy community, because FF16 is like real-time action, like real-time third-person character action, and you know, like the other games are like, some of them are like, most Final Fantasy games are turn-based, right? So there's like this weird, what are they doing? Oh my God, is that what Final Fantasy is gonna be from now on? Is like this very different thing? Maybe, if it does really well, who knows? But I don't know, I think it's interesting to talk about for sure. You know, like the formulas of things are changing before our eyes a little bit, you know? At the end of the day, I saw an interview, like prompt from the FF16 team today, and they were saying, with all like, you know, the things about like, is this Final Fantasy? Is it not Final Fantasy? Like at its core, like the combat being changed and everything. They just said, we wanted to make the game we wanted to make. That's what they said. They just wanted to make what was fun for them, which is a really cool answer. It's just, that's what they want to make. And maybe that's how we kind of have to look at it. Like, I'm always gonna be in support of like devs making what they want to make and what they want to put out to the world. Cause I think of games as like art, you know, which they are. I think of them as like, okay, what are you putting out to the world? What do you want your legacy to be? That kind of thing. Thoughts on Activision taking down all the community clients to play old COD? Oh man, I think the situation with that definitely got more rough. Like when you guys asked me about it a couple of days ago, I was like, oh well, I kind of get it why they took that one down, because if they were like had all these assets from, you know, like they're basically like compiling all these assets that are like stolen in a way from the IP, and then hey, come play this free-to-play thing that will take players away from the player base. You know what I mean? Like that, and like, hey, maybe we have some, you know, I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know enough about it, but it's like, you know, maybe it costs a little money here or there. It's like, I can totally see why that gets taken down. I totally think that they have a right to take down anything that has, you know, that is using their IP in a certain way they don't want it to be used, because they own it. That being said, I think the issue lies with what happened today. The issue is not why did they take this stuff down, or oh my god, this stuff shouldn't have been taken down. I think that's fine as long as there's an actual solution to playing Black Ops 3 on PC. Like, if they just came out and communicated, hey, we took these down because we don't want like unofficial clients out there that are like we want to actually like fix this on our end, I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. That would be totally fine. But the problem is that when I play Black Ops 3, and it's hard because it's really old games and their devs aren't working on Black Ops 3 in 2023. So it's hard. It's hard for me to be like, you know, for people to be like armchair dev about it and be like, hey, why can't they just go and fix this thing? It's like, they have an entire machine that's making what COD is right now, the current COD. That's what they're focusing on. So it's, I don't know. I think the issue for me is that the games that they have on PC are compromised. And the best thing that I think that they should do is they should talk to the community about it and see if they can find some sort of compromise on how to fix that problem, rather than just cease and desisting and saying nothing. But I think they're in their right to do that. They're in their right to cease and desist this stuff. It's not like they're not in their right to do that. But there is like, you know, there's a lot of stuff like, you know, in the game industry where developers look past certain things, you know, like, let's just not look at it. Let's just not talk about that. We'll let the community do that thing. You know what I mean? That happens a lot. That is a thing. And I think there are like, you know, not to be all PR speak here, but I think that there is definitely, there are times to know when it's good to look at that, and there are some times to like, you know, bat the eye away a little bit and just ignore it. I've seen it happen. It's the same thing that happened with like zombies and like the I want to say like the cosplay, not the cosplay, like the prop and cosplay community. Like there are people that like 100% like have given like, I don't know, like hey, here's a ray gun, right? And I've seen people getting like they've gotten taken down about it before, but it's like, hey, you want a ray gun? Here's a ray gun. I'll do it for this amount of money. You know what I mean? Almost like, I don't know, like a zombie black market. Even though it's like they're not the official source, like, you know, people do it. It's like when people like sell things on like Etsy or whatnot, you know? So like I've seen elements, but like, you know, usually they look the other way sometimes with that stuff. But that being said, I know like with Reed, for instance, if you guys remember Rad Austin 27, something that he did, and he was really smart about it, is like when he was making all those like perk posters. I don't know if you guys remember. I used to have like all of Reed's perk posters in the background like a long time ago. What he did was like he actually made it like a mission that when he designed the art for them to complete, like to change the art. So he like the Stamina one, for instance, he didn't do the exact same Stamina Up logo. He actually made his own Stamina Up logo that actually still looked like Stamina Up, but just like an altered variation. And he didn't, call it exactly something that would, intrude on the IP, basically. So he made his own unique posters. And that was like, okay. And he had a whole business doing that because he was basically just saying, I'm making some posters that look cool. He wasn't saying like, hey, this is the Stamina Up logo on a poster. You know what I mean? So I feel like you have to be smart and you have to know what you're doing. And I think you have to like respect that they own the IP like 100%. And if the reason what I'm curious about is why did they all of a sudden do all this now? Like, if it was in the works for a while, who knows? I'm wondering if it's because they saw like somebody making money off of it. Like, for example, I think I heard that a lot of these projects had like a Patreon and stuff like that. And if that is the case, like if they're making money off of doing something that is in relation to the COD IP that isn't their own, I can see why they would take offense to that. But then again, as YouTubers, we all are able to post gameplay about Call of Duty that isn't our own gameplay technically. Every game developer technically has the right to take down gameplay footage of their game, but they don't do that and they look the other way. And that's become like a standard now. This is a weird conversation. There's a lot of legalities and a lot of like things that we could get into, but it's like, even when you boil down to it, like any YouTuber that's posting like Call of Duty gameplay, like could be taken down because you are just sharing the like gameplay of a product that isn't your own. But we as a society have sort of just like accepted that that's okay. But with movies, you can't do that. Like I can't sit on YouTube and watch like a full movie. I can't do that. I have to actually like really like fair use it, right? But with games, oh dude, get out of here. I can play the whole game and show you it on stream and all that kind of thing. And that's just been an acceptable thing that we have been doing like as a society like the last like 10 years or so. Or like 10, yeah, probably like about 10 years. No, not 10. No, actually we got more than 10. God dang, has it been that long since like the glory days of YouTube? Jeez. I don't know, like it's weird. But my point with that is that there's this sort of like mutually beneficial relationship that like the devs and the marketing department, like PR department know with like YouTubers in that regard. So then where do you draw the line on other things? Does that make sense? I don't really know what the right answer is, guys, to be honest. I think the biggest thing though is I'm not someone who is, I don't look at this stuff and I'm not enraged about it. I think the thing if I was like upset about what I as a fan am upset about, and I totally understand whether or not they haven't done it because they're focusing on the other stuff. But what does upset me as a fan is that I can't play Black Ops 3 with my friends on PC. Like just in general, I can't do that with the product that I bought on Steam. That does suck, and it feels wrong, and I wish that they could address that and fix that in some way, because literally my livelihood actually got screwed over for like weeks when I played Black Ops 3 Zombies on PC. I played Black Ops 3 Zombies on PC and I got DDoSed for like 2 weeks straight. What the heck, Winter? Are you okay? What did you guys just hear that? What did you just do, Cat? Are you good? What did you just do? Are you alright? What? Winter. What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Okay? Okay. Hey! She's so funny, dude. Dude, I think she knocked over like something on the bathroom sink. I don't know what she did. It was so odd. Winter. Yeah, you've been a bad girl. Bad kitty. Do you want to be let out? Do you need some food? Is that what you want? You want some food? Come here. Here you go. Go enjoy. You can go out if you want. Okay. All right. Anyways, I don't know what she's doing. It literally sounded like a pan dropped. Yeah, I literally thought the same thing. I was really confused. But no, it wasn't a pan. It was in here. I don't have anything like that. So I think she knocked over like a can. There was a Prime Energy can on the sink in there, and I think she knocked it over. I found it like laying. I was like, was that it? Was that the noise? Did a can make that noise? Like, what the heck, dude? I don't know, Jai. I don't know. I think, yeah, again, the issue that I have with it, the thing that makes me sad is that I have personally been doxxed I've personally been doxxed and DDoSed. My entire network has been DDoSed by hackers on BO3. And that's not okay. That is just completely not okay. And I really wish that they would have a solution for that. And I wish that they would do it. But also at the same time though, you have to look at the development side of things. And it's like, there's no shot that they are going to be able to run and keep up like 10 Call of Duty games all at the same time and stop every little hack that comes through for all eternity. It's just not going to happen. When is that? Where is that? That's the issue though. Is like, how are they? Do they have to have a dedicated team that is going to be like making sure that no one's breaking the system of BO3 and no one's breaking the system of BO2 and no one's breaking, like, how does that, I don't know what the solution is on it. Like, I don't know. I just don't know how you do that for all eternity. You can't. I just don't feel like you, like, I think you can like patch things if it's been a problem for a while, right? Sure. But I don't know how you keep it up for years and years and years when you've already moved on to other Call of Duty games. I just don't know. I don't know like what you do about that situation because I just like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, what do you do? Like say they put some resources to it now to fix it. And what do you do if the hackers get through it next year? Are you we have to go right back through it? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not trying to defend them. I'm just saying like, it's a lot more like nuanced than I think people are like saying, you know, I feel like a lot like, and I'm someone who's really been DDoSed from the game. But I do think it is more nuanced than people are giving it credit for. Like, I think it's more, it's probably a bit challenging to go to an old game and do that, especially with a potentially completely different team of people as well. Like, that's the other thing. Like, the people that made BO3 might not even be there. You know what I mean? Like, sure, you can go in there and like figure it out, but it's like, that's another thing too, is like, there's a lot of people that are working on COD right now that never worked on some of those things. So it's like, it's weird. Like, I think it takes more work than I think people realize to actually go back and fix those things. Now it's possible. I guarantee you it's possible to fix them, but it's just a matter of, do they think it's worth it or not? And apparently at the moment they don't think it's worth it. And they think that, you know, like with that, the boy client or whatever, like, you know, it's not a good idea to promote that. It's not a good idea to have that up and running. And there's a reason for that somewhere. I do wish they would tell a community about why though, you know? That's my biggest thing. I wish that the community wasn't from afar. I'm not pressed. Dude, literally I'm not pressed about it that much, but I from afar, I'm like, okay, people are screaming on Twitter this week. I feel like there needs to be some sort of communication a little bit on like why that happened. And there's probably a little bit more of nuance to it than we think, probably. That being said, I hate that I got DDoS from BO3. I think that was really stupid. And that was just a really annoying 2 weeks of my life. I'm not going to lie. I was literally trying to do my God of War playthrough and I was getting DDoS. I like stopped my God of War playthrough and like stopped for like a week on playing it. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was crazy. Like it was so annoying. So yeah, but again, first world problems, right? Like dude, you don't even know like what I went through, man. Like fixing that stuff. It was insane, dude. Like talking to internet companies about that. Oh my Lord, they didn't even know what I was talking about. I was like, please, I need to change my IP because this is happening to me. And they're like, how? I'm like, it's your internet's fine. I'm like, that's because they only attack me when I stream. That was so dumb. We're good now. God. I saw M join the VC for about 15 seconds. Couldn't hear anyone. Didn't dip yesterday. Yeah, at when we're at Nintendo World. Yeah, she just wanted to. She wanted to join the Discord for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know, chat. I think here's the thing, man. I do think that there should be some sort of a preservation on what Zombies was for a lot of us. You know? That is something that I do really think I don't want to ever see go. You know? Like, I think there needs to be a preservation of, I can always, years from now, I can pop in BO3 on my PC, and I can play with Emmy or whatever. And yeah, I'm just saying what's personal to me, though. I get, like, we could take this to, like, 8 levels and say it's, like, every game on Earth. But for me, like, that is something that bothers me a bit, is, like, thinking about a lot of the work that, on the other side, thinking about a lot of the work that the devs back in the day did, that, and a lot of them I personally know, not a lot, but like, I know a lot of those devs, and, you know, thinking about the fact that you can't just play that game without being, you know, potentially exposed to some bad stuff. It's, you know, it sucks, man. Like that's something that, you know, should by every means, like, you know, it should be a good, like, the good thing does sound like preserving those games. Like, that should be how things are. But it is kind of the nature, I guess, of online games, that over the years, you know, the communities move on to other games, and then they just kind of lose support. Zombies alone, can't you just play offline? You can play Zombies alone. Yeah, you absolutely can. You can play Zombie, like, you can play BO3 Zombies offline, and it's fine. You can even do custom maps that way. You can download the custom maps and play offline. You're good.
Hey, I'm Lil Baby. Thanks for watching my streamer, JC Backfire.
Hey, Vase, what's up? Hey, I'm Little Baby. Thanks. What? What? Huh? Yo, thanks. What about LAN? You could probably do it. That might be an option, maybe. But LAN, I remember, like, thinking it was super weird to do on BO3. Maybe I'm wrong about that, though. But I thought LAN was, like, super hard to do. The idea of long-term live service experience is a big thing these days. Gaming is big enough to impact IP law, I think. Sorry with the debate about emulating and pirating old and inaccessible experiences. Maybe it's time for a serious move towards the law allowing preservation of digital experiences to be moved in the hands of consumers, much like how device repair modification laws are starting to move in the right direction. Like, you're almost like talking about, like, you know how, like, Winnie the Pooh became a free like public domain thing. And then they made, like, the horror film. Like, I don't know if that's exactly what we mean, but I just don't, I don't know. I don't know how the law would go about it, you know. Love not getting the going live notification. The bot worked, right? Is 2B working? Let's check. Oh yeah, she worked. Okay, Discord notification worked. Hell yeah. Thank you, 2B. Anyways. But yeah. I don't know. I think it's definitely tough, and I think, like you guys are saying, I think over the years, it's like, it's gotten to be a problem that's happened with more time in the online space. Like, this was not a thing, like, years ago as much. Like, now it's starting to happen with a lot of these live service games for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what, like, the surefire solution is. You know, on paper, I guess you could turn the other way and like be like, okay, let's just let the community do that. But then there's also some people that probably like look at the legal aspect of that and they're like, oh, we shouldn't let people have control of our IP. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's tough. I don't envy the decision making behind those decisions, to be honest. I don't envy being in that position. It's just wild to me how you're vulnerable if you play some older games on console. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. That being said, I don't know, man. Something I do love is I love, like, for what it's worth, you know what I do love? Like, Master Chief Collection. Maybe that game has problems that I don't know about, but I do love that there are, like, collections like that that exist that, like, thank God I can load up Steam and load up Halo 3 in 2023, and it just works. And it's got, like, an actual community on it, and it's an actual product that Microsoft sold. Like, I mean, I think that is like one of the coolest things that, like, I just think, like, it sounds so cheesy, but I just, like, thank God every day I can still play Halo 3 and Halo 2 and all that sort of thing. Like, that was, you know, it had a horrible launch, yes, but man, I'm just glad they actually kept it up and fixed the game to where it is now, because like I played Halo 3 on stream like what, like 2 days ago, and 2 or 3 days ago, something like that, and it works, man. It feels good. There's not really too many problems. Like, they're like, you know, it's good enough, you know, like it's good enough for me. So I don't know, like if me and Emmy ever like want to do the Halo campaigns, like I got that collection, which is awesome, you know. So yeah, almost like I almost wish, yeah, it's Drew, it's like what you're saying. Like I really do wish that there was just a zombies collection thing, right? Like there's like a zombies collection thing on Steam, and it's like kept up to date as like because it's much easier to keep up to date one project than, like, you know, that's where I'm getting at with my opinion on this, guys. And look, I like, dude, also love that everybody in here's kind of being like very like everything we're talking about, we're not yelling at each other, right? Which I love this community. But do you get what I'm saying with, it is probably impossible to like make sure BO2 is okay, and make sure BO3 is okay, and make sure BO1's okay, and World at War, and COD 4, and like 8 games. Like that is like so hard to do, like on every scale. But when it's all like, when you have this like one project that is the Master Chief Collection, that is like much easier to take care of as a thing. So it's like, that would be really cool, is if we had some sort of like zombies, you know, for zombies, guys, it'd be really cool if there was like a zombies project on Steam that was all of the things together almost. I wish it was just BO3, to be honest. I mean, to be honest, BO3 almost is that. And it's like at least for zombies, if we could just make sure BO3 is good, then I'm happy. You know what I mean? Or something that's an equivalent of that. I'm fine with, like with the workshop. Yeah. With like all of that. Like I think the workshop was so good for that game. We talked about UGC and all that sort of stuff. Like, and honestly, the more I'm thinking about it, in a lot of ways, BO3 is that. It's just, can we just, like, at least for zombies fans, can we make sure the zombies fans have a place on PC that they can actually play and not feel like they're, you know, they're unsafe? That'd be nice. So I don't know, like BO3 in a lot of ways is kind of that collection feeling because Chronicles is on it. And people are like making a lot of stuff in the workshops. That's cool. But yeah, I don't know, like, if there's something that had all of it, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Halo 6 mainline games is very viable to preserve and maintain a project like that backed by studio in full. And it turns out each game is less liked than previous COD. Once you do live service, why not just commit? Do a live long-term zombies project, live long-term multiplayer project, Warzone, and Destiny style campaign. What would be wrong with that? I don't know, to be honest. We're getting into like the nitty-gritty of like what should COD be, and I don't know, like it's up to them ultimately. But I mean, I have kind of, you know, as a fan, I do kind of think that COD might eventually go that route of just being like, this is COD. You know, I've seen that more, like with the games of the past, you know, ever since Modern Warfare 2019, the games feel like they're, you know, even the damn menu, like the way it works, it's like, okay, this is a platform. Like when you load up Modern Warfare 2, it just says Call of Duty. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I feel like that is something that eventually it might get to one day. But the other thing too is that COD still sells every single year. And that is a reality that we all have to look at, is that people buy COD still every year, just like they buy FIFA, just like they buy all these things. Like COD is still very successful. And all these people on Twitter saying that COD isn't successful, they are wrong, dude. Like I know, like, I'm not trying to like argue with you guys about this, but like, people are like, oh yeah, every COD is like not as good as the last one or whatever. That's literally not like true. Like Modern Warfare 2019 was a banger for them, like a banger game. It sold tremendously well. Like we thought we were eating good with like BO3 and all that kind of stuff. Like 2019 sold astronomically. And I think Modern Warfare 2 sold astronomically this past year. I think it had one of the best launches in history for them. I'm pretty sure in terms of actual sales. Now, player base now, who knows? But like there's still a lot of people playing COD. Like it's not like that's where I'm never going to get to. I'm never going to get to like a thing and be like, it's dying, because it's not. There might be more people enraged on Twitter, but like it's not dying though. Like there is a COD community that is playing COD right now. There are people playing DMZ right now. And that is, and in some ways way more than what we grew up playing. Because when we grew up playing, video games weren't as cool as they are now, to be honest with you. Like the times have changed. Back in the day, like Halo 3 was like the biggest video game launch of all time, and it had, you know, whatever million players it had. Nowadays, it's like, oh, we got 50 million players. It's like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the perspective on it. Like, there's so many people that are playing still, you know? Cal said the vocal minority on the internet can have 100% negative sentiment. 100% of the games will smash records in sales. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey Jason,
100% right.
You know you're such an inspiration for always following your passions and always excited to see what you do in the future. Less than
Pharaoh, thank you so much for the 49 months. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I'm happy you think so, man. I'm trying my best to keep pursuing my passions. I'm trying. We got a little bit of an obstacle this past week, but we're still moving forward. We're staying optimistic. I'm excited for the future. I am. I honestly am. I appreciate it, Pharaoh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that makes any sense, what I'm saying. I just think that, like, there's a perspective on things. It's like, I think saying, like, things are doomed is, like, not true. Everybody likes to be very hyperbolic about everything, which I get, because it gets clicks, and it gets, like, whatever. You know, I'm like that with some things too. Like I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the best video game ever. Like Final Fantasy 16. We're gonna talk about that still. But like, this is gonna be the best thing ever, right? And being like hyperbolic. But you know, Graham, I'm probably gonna love it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just more nuanced. All I can say is, as someone who's been on the development side of a game, it's just more nuanced. Like there's always more like nuance to what goes on behind the scenes. That's all I want to say. I just think it's and I don't think the devs like necessarily want this to be happening. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. But I want to stop being doxed on BO3. That'd be nice. That would be nice. That would be very nice. Hyperbolic? Time chamber? Time for a training arc? The prospect of boycotting is too scary, because then they want to cause their life. Best fans who wouldn't change me. Instead of buying stuff for buying nothing, we should spend our money on smaller any projects that call any passion. Probably more fun and sends a stronger message. Yeah, I mean, if like with whatever thing that somebody's a fan of, like I think there's definitely ways to send a message. I just think that I don't know. I'm just not. I don't know. It's really hard. It's hard to know what exactly to do. Especially with stuff that's really massive in that way. It's like, okay, well, how do you send a message exactly? You know, in a good way, like in an actual constructive way that's not like the most doomer thing imaginable. I just don't like, I don't know. It's video games at the end of the day. I've gotten hours and hours of enjoyment from a lot of these games. I would love to see them preserved, but I'm also not beyond pressed. Does that make sense? I don't know. Also, by the way, dude, the Lo-Fi Boy is actually awesome. Like, I love this. This is so good. Never use this channel too much, but I love it. We will be streaming the PS Showcase. Yes. Yes. Be there whenever it's probably like an hour before it happens. I'll be live. So we'll have a little bit of like a pre-show talking about it, and then I'll be streaming it. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm very excited for that. Do you think Plutonium is next? I have no idea. I don't know. Guys, here's the other thing. I haven't used any of these. I have always played COD games just either offline or like the actual like way on Steam. Like I've never used any of these. So I don't know the intricacies of all of them. I have no idea. And I also don't, because I don't know anything about them, I also don't feel super comfortable like promoting them and talking about them too much, because I don't want to be someone promoting something that is potentially got a cease and desist from a massive company. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get in trouble there. I've never used them. I honestly have not. I play BO3 offline, or I play stuff on like console. Like I play like whenever we did like the BO4 stuff recently, we've been playing on PS5. And that might have to be the solution. Just play on my damn PS5. But you can't play custom maps though, if you do that. It'd be cool if you could. We need Chop. Chop had a really good video about it. Honestly, I out of all the videos I saw today, I feel like Chop had a really good take on it. It was very balanced. It was very like, you know, not like, oh my God, everything in the world is ending. Like, it was very much like, okay, I can see why this happened. Also, should it have happened though? Even if I can see why it happened, also like, just here's like all the different sides of it. Like, it was a really good video. I was like, dude, Chop's videos, like, I can't even stress this enough, guys. Like, I don't want to like shill my friend here, but actually I would shill my friend because it's my friend. But like, I feel like Chop's videos the last like year or so have been really good. Out of a lot of like the people that I used to associate with all the time with like zombies and all this kind of stuff, like I feel like Chop has become like a really, really good video essay guy. Like he makes a lot of videos, like just looking at his stuff right now. Like he makes like a lot of stuff, right? That is like, you know, pretty dang like, you know, varied and stuff like that. And he usually, even if his like some of his, you know, his titles and thumbnails might be a little like hyperbolic, like here or there, like Forspoken is worse than you thought. It's a little, that's a little bit hyperbolic probably. It's like, you know, a lot of times these videos actually have like good criticism in there. And I don't know, I like the style right now, that Chop's doing, and his channel's doing really well, like 500K views, and he has a lot of variety stuff that's like doing well. It's pretty cool. I really do like Chop's stuff lately. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Do console CODs have the same online security issue as PC? I'm not sure, honestly. I don't know. I really don't know. Forspoken is pretty bad. I've never played Forspoken, so I don't know. I was gonna play the demo on stream one time, and I just didn't end up doing it. But I haven't played it personally, so it's hard for me to speak on it. I got kids' feet. Yeah, his thing. Chat, by the way, really fast. Now we got more people in here. How do you guys like the camera? Like, can we just reiterate? Like, I'm really happy about the camera. Like, right now. Like, I feel like the lighting in here just looks really good. Like, I like the sort of dark, moody, like, lighting. It's a little bit more subtle. It's not, like, as in your face. Is it looking sick? Yeah, so, for those of you who don't know, I bought, like, a new lens. I bought the lens, like 2 days before I got laid off. I probably wouldn't have bought the lens if I knew that was happening. So I bought the lens and then I was like, you know what? At least I can look forward to this. And so like I put the new camera on and like it focuses really fast. Like look at that. Like what? It like blurs the background so well. It's really cool. I love it. So I don't know. I hope you guys like the sort of quality increase. It's subtle. It's subtle increase. But before the background was like a little bit more, you could see more of it. But I like the more, makes me pop a little bit more on the stream. So I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. I can like hold up things and be like, yo, controller. Woohoo. You know? Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Not one to bash games. Yeah, look, there's games I don't like, but I'm not one. I don't think I'm ever gonna make like a rant video about a video game anymore. You know, not that I did that too much back in the day, but if a game, you know, doesn't hit the way that they want it to, it's more just like sad for me. Like I'm just like, oh, that's sad. What is this? Meeting Pura in Tears of the Kingdom. Oh no.
Linky, you're back.
Hi, Mommy.
What?
What?
And that's the end of the stream, guys. Thanks for coming out, guys. God dang it, dude. That was so bad. That video, it was well animated. My God, that made me cringe a little bit. Oh no, dude. Oh, rip. Chat, can we talk about Final Fantasy 16? Please. Can I geek out now? Can I finally geek out? It's been an hour. Can I do it? Chat, it's insane. Okay, damn. Jeez. No, play Zelda. I promise we'll be playing Zelda. Listen, chat. Emmy has she's not gonna be here all night. I have no interruptions tonight. It's just me and you and the cat, and I'm gonna be playing, like talking, and we're gonna play Zelda for a while tonight. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Great stream. I've never played a Final Fantasy game. Well, this can be your first. They've made it for new players. It is a game that stands on its own. Every Final Fantasy game is numbered, but they have no relation to each other usually. So please know that before I start talking about this stuff. All right? It's a completely new game. Just think of it as like a new game, right? I don't know why they have I don't know why they keep doing the Roman numerals. I don't. Yes, you can start on 16. Like, you don't have to play any other Final Fantasy game, like, at all. It's like Final Fantasy 15 is a completely different universe than Final Fantasy 16. Like it's like Chaos Story to Ether. That is the best way I can describe it. It's like Chaos Story, Ether Story, and zombies. It's like that. It's like completely different. But yeah. Oh, Emmy's here. God dang it, Emmy. You gotta interrupt me already, bro. Okay, look at this, chat. Where is it? Where is it? Look at this. Look at this. Bro, I'm so freaking pumped, bro. This is IGN's preview. I'm so freaking pumped for this, dude.
Final Fantasy 16 opens with a bang.
Well, here, let's put it in 4K.
Two swirling icons, the colossal beasts that series fans will know better as summons, pepper each other with fireballs and lash out with their hefty tails as they descend deep under the earth in a scene reminiscent of Gandalf's plunging tussle with the Balrog. It's a level of spectacle rarely witnessed in a video game, and an early indicator of the huge-scale story awaiting those venturing into Square Enix's latest.
No, the first 4 hours are not out, chat. It's just people. So basically what I understand is they had a preview event, right? So before we like get into this, they had a preview event, I guess like a week or so ago, where a bunch of people got to go and like go there and like play the game at some place. And they all got about like 4 to 6 hours of playtime with it, which is kind of crazy. And it was like a lot of stuff from the intro of the game, a lot of the cinematics, and then some stuff in the later game a little bit too. And so like people have like, they let like basically like journalists and influencers play a good like 4 to 6 hours. Like that's how confident they are in this game right now. It's insane.
Gandalf's plunging tussle with
so
the
this
Balrog.
is like IGN talking about that experience with some of the gameplay that they can show.
It's a level of spectacle rarely witnessed in a video game, and an early indicator of the huge-scale story awaiting those venturing into Square Enix's latest.
Dude.
Having played the following 4 or so hours, it's a promise largely lived up to, with razor-sharp combat and thrilling boss battles consistently exciting. But beyond the blade, it also engages through its thoroughly fantasy-rooted tale, establishing the world of Phalisthea, its factions, and individual personalities to good effect. It makes for an electrifying opening which, despite being a little cutscene heavy at times...
No, I like that. Give me more cutscenes. Honestly, give me more cutscenes. Like, I want a cinematic, obviously I want gameplay, sure. But I don't mind if I have some, like, 5 to 10 minute cutscene. Like, I literally don't care. I want an amazing story. That's what I want. Like, please, there's not a lot of games that I feel like do that nowadays.
Didn't have to stop playing. The opening section that I played is described by Square Enix as a special version made for media to experience, and contents may differ from the final
What are you talking about, Square Enix? What does that mean?
version. But regardless of if the events presented are identical to the final game or not, don't worry, I won't be spoiling any story details for Final Fantasy XVI, just discussing some of the themes at play and the stage they set. Phalisthea is a world that returns Final Fantasy to its more classic fantasy roots, albeit with heightened cinematic aspirations. It's not afraid to throw spectacle after spectacle your way right from the off, with the early arrival of the ice icon Shiva onto a dusty battlefield truly stunning in its execution as she glistens in all her glory.
So like I've talked about this before, but in this, right? I hate reading dialogue. 100% replace all those cutscenes. Yo, please, but give us all the budget. I'm with you. If we can, give me more. But chat, I was gonna say, so like the way that the story is of this world is that the like big, so Final Fantasy's always had these like summons, right? Like Ifrit, Shiva, like the ice goddess, like all this kind of stuff. They've been in like all these other Final Fantasy games. They show up. They're different, but they always show up in some way. It's like that's kind of how Final Fantasy works. It's like there's things that are familiar in the different games. Like, oh, there's summons still, and there's all this kind of stuff, but it's a completely different story, completely different world, etc. But in this game, it's like the summons are like the main point of the game, and they're like, it's like the people in the world that are like, there are people. It's literally like Persona. Honestly, from what I play of Persona 5, it's literally like Persona 5. It's like every character has like a persona that is one of these summons, one of the main characters, I guess, in the story. And there's like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 of them or something. And they're kind of like treated as like nuclear warfare, like because they're powerful gods that can destroy an entire wasteland. It's like, it's almost like mutually assured destruction is like in play in like a fantasy world because these gods can be so powerful and wipe stuff out.
A stark contrast to her.
Like that's just, it's like Game of Thrones, but if there was like these powerful gods that could like wipe out a kingdom in a second, but they're at like a standstill because of that.
Opponent, the stony, monolithic titan who towers over the skirmish between 2 rival factions below. There's a sheer enormity to the size of these icons that even the likes of old school God of War or Shadow of the Colossus would be jealous of. They may be well-worn reference points for anything.
Torgal, look at them. Look at them.
vaguely medieval fantasy, but it's hard to ignore the Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones influences here. The story is rooted in the struggle over the 5 mother crystals that tower over Phalisfeia, which are the source of the magic that powers this world. Naturally, the continent's 6 nations are going to want to fight for control of these, and so a constant state
Chat, you can pet the pup. I'll show you a clip after this.
of conflict rages on. One of those nations is the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, and you play as Clive Rosfield, son of the ruling Archduke. Over the course of the opening few hours, you're transported through different periods of his life as the personal catalyst for his story is revealed. It's not a revolutionary setup for a story in this genre, but one introduced with a fair amount of elegance in an early cadence that maintains a good balance between action and dialogue. This pace and a general sense of excitement are infinitely aided by the superb score that soundtracks the events too. It's worth saying at this point that Final Fantasy XVI's opening hours are very story heavy, and while it does a great job at introducing Clive's family ties and those who aim to unbind them, it did leave me wishing I was playing a more active part in it at times. Not least
Give me more cutscenes.
because when you do get let off the leash, its combat never fails to impress.
Nice.
That heightened sense of cinema translates equally well to the battlefield, with each encounter feeling like a real event. In my relatively short amount of playtime, I fought no fewer than 8 bosses, each delivering spectacle on both a macro and micro level, ranging from massive monster clashes to time-bending perfect parry affairs against agile enemies. The first extensive stretch of gameplay sees you playing as teenage Clive, as you venture through a swampy marshland littered with the most goblin-looking goblins you've ever seen. It culminates in a very fun fight against this world's version of the classic Final Fantasy enemy Morbol, a slimy, tendrilled set of teeth with a serious case of bad breath.
Keep clear of its maw, my lord. That thing's breath is worse than its
The
bite.
music.
It's Final Fantasy XVI's first real display of its fantastic combat in full flow, with its signature cinematic strikes and evades now fully introduced to your arsenal. It's a set of tools that is steadily added to as you progress, with different magic abilities welcomed into the fold. And while I had plenty of toys to play with, I still feel like I'd barely scratched the surface of what these combat systems have to offer. That's especially true when it comes to its showpiece kaiju-like icon battles, which flip the script when it comes to gameplay, each promising
Sonic Frontiers moments. Sonic Frontiers moments.
The aforementioned opening exchange between 2 fiery icons, which played more like a flying rail shooter than an RPG, conjures up welcome memories of the finale to Nier Automata. In its
I sent this in the Discord because I was reading some of the web articles. Are you kidding me? Chat, that is like that's all you have to say.
Shooter than an RPG, conjures up welcome memories of the finale to Nier Automata in its desire to frequently switch up gameplay styles while never pausing for breath. As large scale as Final Fantasy XVI can be at times, I was slightly surprised by how contained some of its levels can be. Early on at least, they were all relatively narrow locations that funnel you from arena to arena, with occasional forays off the beaten path that rewarded me with useful items. A great example of this is the Greatwood area, which acted as the final destination of my hands-on. A verdant green forest, it largely consisted of leafy corridors connecting
JC, you can't describe trash to peak. What are you saying is trash?
fights with feisty flora
Also,
and
Joe, dude, what's up, dude? Yeah, Max's preview.
fauna to bosses of varying sizes. The most notable of these being the scaly giant Fafnir, which looked like something on an exchange trip from Skull Island.
Skull Island, that's a reference I haven't heard in a bit.
Not so tough.
You'd better hope so.
I did spend a small amount of time in a much wider open space from later in the game, containing side quests and challenging foes to take down, but this by no means felt like the open world Final Fantasy that fans have become accustomed to of late in
It doesn't feel like big open world.
Final Fantasy 15. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Not every game needs to be a sprawling world to get lost in.
True.
In some ways, it was a refreshing throwback to the more linear Final Fantasy of old.
I'm thinking it's gonna be like God of War. I genuinely think it's gonna be like God of War. I think it's gonna be very linear, and there's gonna be some moments where you're like, just, you know what I mean? Like you might have a more of an open zone area, like the crater or something.
If it did feel a little restricted to a repetitive rhythm of cutscene, battle, with exploration coming at a premium. There's nothing old school about the combat though, which feels sharply cutting edge in its fluidity. The fast-paced action really is excellent. So good in fact that I found myself often thinking, just let me do it more. As I said, cutscenes make up a lot of Final Fantasy XVI's early runtime, and while story has always been a big part of the series, I think it may be the sheer speed of its action that leads to the transition between combat and the slower dialogue-heavy scenes, delivering more whiplash this time around. The scenes themselves are all well acted and admirably succinct in their exposition. It's just more of a testament to the sheer thrill of its combat than anything, that I couldn't wait for them to move along at an even swifter pace.
That's good though. Like, I like that. Like, if this previewer is saying, I like the cutscenes, but I want to get to the gameplay quicker, what that means is that, like, how do I describe this? It's like, I like the design of making me want more of it, because that's what's going to push me through the story. Like, if you're giving me a story that is going to be this epic over like 30 hours or something, 30 to 40 hours or something like that, like, there has to be a reason that I push through it. And at the beginning, if I'm not like super invested quite yet, and if that's because the gameplay, I know it's going to be like popcorn and just like butter when it happens, like that pushes me like as a player to get through a lot of this big story stuff. And so, I don't know, for me, it's kind of like similar to, like, I don't mind big chunks of story and then big chunks of gameplay. Like, I don't mind like that contrast, because it's like with Doom Eternal. Like, I like Doom Eternal way more than Doom 2016. I know that this makes no sense, because it's like that game doesn't really have like, it doesn't like pause or anything too much and like make you watch cutscenes too much. But what I'm saying is, like, Doom Eternal does this thing where it's like, all right, you fought a bunch of stuff. Now you're going to have to do parkour challenges for a little bit. And I know some people didn't like that. Like, some people are like, oh, I don't like that Doom Eternal like does these random like parkour things in between the arenas. And you all of a sudden like have to start climbing around as Doom guy, and you gotta like, you know, like grapple off things. Like, I love that stuff, because if the game was just fully action the whole time, full shooting the entire time, it would get monotonous. And after a certain amount of time, and honestly, Doom 2016 was like that for me. I felt like, okay, we just keep doing this, huh? We just keep doing this. But Doom Eternal, it felt more like, okay, here's my bite that's like, ooh, that felt good. Now here's my parkour section. Ooh, that felt good. Here's this other bite of an arena that felt good. Like, it just had more of a balance to it. And so with whatever they're doing, I just hope it's got a balance that feels really nicely. And I don't mind at the beginning story heavy, and I might get like little tastes of how cool Clive is in combat.
You are a true shield of the flame, and let no one tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't Square hire one of the DMC devs at Capcom for Final Fantasy 16? Yes, one of the combat. I think the combat director of this game worked on DMC. I'm pretty sure.
For those that really want to take their time and delve deeper into the history.
Also, okay, so this is another thing, chat. I was talking about this as well in Discord today, guys. What game does this? All right, look at this. So there's something that this game is doing, because they're obviously, it's a completely new world, completely new universe, and all this kind of thing. What? Have you guys ever seen Amazon's, like, have you ever watched like a show on Amazon Prime? Like you went and watched a show on Amazon, like the site itself, like Amazon Prime Video. And then there's this thing that Amazon has, it's called like X-ray mode. And X-ray mode is like, you can pause the show at any moment and it will like show you, oh, this actor that's in the scene right now, this is that actor's name. Here's what character they play. And you might be able to like click and like get more detail about that. Like, just like scene by scene, it knows what actors are on the screen, which is super cool. And you can like pause it. Apparently this game has the video game equivalent of that. So you can be in like maybe, I don't know if it's like in a cinematic, but I assume so. You can be in a cinematic or something. You press the pad on your PS5. I think this is what people were saying today. Don't 100% quote me on it. But it's something called active lore.
Including...
Like, what the hell?
For those that really...
Look at this. Active time lore. You pause the cinematic or whatever it is, and you can see the current location you're at and the NPCs that are around you or whatever characters are around you. And you can find out really quickly if you forgot where they come from or like whatever. It's just like a extra little guide helping hand if you need it to remember things about the world. That's like the coolest thing, dude.
Want to take that?
And I saw people saying this is what Kingdom Hearts needs. Like, honestly, yes.
Time and delve deeper into.
Like, look at this. Person of interest, Sir Wade. And it just gives you like a quick little like recap maybe if you forgot.
The history of Valisthea, however, there's the handy active time law system. This essentially acts in a similar fashion to Prime Video's X-ray feature, allowing you to hit a button and pause the scene at any moment to learn more about the characters speaking or the terminology they're using. It's a smart way to provide extra context for those who want it without overloading on exposition for those who just want to zip along to the next.
So good, because if you're like, I don't know who this character is, I forgot about this character, you don't have to constantly have writing in the game that goes, hello, Clive, I met you 10 hours ago. Don't you, like, isn't this great? Like, you don't even have to have the exposition. You can just
That's not to
have like an actual nice feeling flow of the story.
Say that Final Fantasy XVI doesn't entertain in its slower
That little
moments.
pup,
and
dude.
indeed, some of them are effective in building Clive out as a protagonist to care about. He's an emotionally complicated character plagued with a tragic backstory that adds a welcome amount of depth. A section where you're set loose to roam around his family home of Rosalith Castle serves as a great way of introducing us to Clive and his place in this world, as he interacts with soldiers in training, magical gardeners, and a bounty of regional British accents. From what I've seen so far, the future looks very bright for Final Fantasy XVI. If its opening few hours of hulking icon showdowns, superb melee combat, and story that delivers on both a personal and global level are anything to go by, then a very fun time is on the horizon. I'm hopeful that the ever so stuttering pace irons itself out over the hours to come, with its ferociously fun gameplay taking precedence as Clive's journey broadens. I went into my time with Final Fantasy XVI incredibly excited about what I'd seen in its many trailers and showcases, and left very happy that very little of that anticipation had diminished by the time I'd finished.
Hell yeah.
Boy.
Let's go.
For more from Final Fantasy,
So let me find that clip really fast. If something happens to the dog, I'm trashing the game. Dude, honestly, bro, I'm scared. I'm scared that something will happen to the dog. He is like your #1 companion in the game, apparently, which is criminal because that's just scary. Let me find this. Let's see. Where is it? I saw like some gameplay today that I want to like click through really fast. Yes. All right, look at this, chat. So there was a channel that they're called Jamatsu. Hopefully I said that right. But they like basically uploaded like, look at this. They like uploaded all these like little slight tidbits of gameplay with like no commentary on it, which is super cool. So look at this cutscene. Like there's a cutscene right here. Like, are we having 4K? I think it'll be in 4K mode.
Well, if you're not cut out to be a shield, there's always work for you in the stables. Unless, of course, you think you can defend your master while sat on your arse in a puddle of pig swill.
I'm sure he'd find a way. My brother always looks after me. Right?
Go on. You're sure to hit him eventually.
Don't give up now.
Dude.
2 arms. It wouldn't do to disappoint the gallery.
Look at that. Look at the way that's shot. That's so cool. That little bark, dude. That little bark from the pup.
Him eventually.
Don't give up now.
Dude, I can't. Oh. All right. And then the one that like really got me today, chat, was like this scene of just, where is it? Scorpion field battle. It's like 50 seconds, but then the music starts hitting. It's only in 30 FPS for 4K 30 FPS. It's not the 60 FPS mode, but like, chat, when the music, oh my God, just like, please, you need to see that, like, just see it and feel the, like, oh my God, just.
Stay down. Good boy.
Like, that's all. I don't know how to explain why I love this so much. It's so over the top flashy, but I love it. Like, this is 3 little scorpion crab things, and I feel like I just injected like dopamine into my like brain, just like directly from like some cyberpunk experiment. I don't know what I'm saying, dude, but like I'm just watching it. I'm like, bro, like this man, like if you look at what he's doing, he's using like, and what's so cool is it shows the buttons that you're pressing on the bottom, which that's super cool for stream, by the way. I think that's like a really cool thing that I don't see too much in games. But so he's like using Phoenix. Hey, thank you for the gifted sub, by the way. Ziku, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my god. But he's like using Phoenix a lot, which I guess closes the distance. Which is like the Phoenix summon ability, the icon ability. Like, and dude, I don't know. This is like early game too. He doesn't even have that many like different abilities. Let me see if I can find more. But yeah, you alternate between these like godly beings, right? Like the icons of the game. Yeah. Dude, where's what do we got? I need like a the music is just so good. Like this is where's the first expedition? Like,
You all right?
Never better.
Sounds like it.
dude, his voice.
That there is a fine hound. Soon took to hunting. Fearless as you like.
It's good to have you back, Torgal.
Now, we don't want to be caught in the forest after nightfall.
I suppose not.
It's literally like, someone was saying this today. It's literally like they looked at Game of Thrones and they're like, okay, let's make like a Final Fantasy version of Jon Snow. And then like, you know how Jon Snow had like his dire wolf? It kind of feels like that. It feels like you're Jon Snow, but like in a way more fantastical way. And you just have Ghost as like your partner. Like, that's so freaking cool. Like, as someone who loved like all that stuff in Game of Thrones, like that to me is just so sick. What is this? This is it says Fafnir Battle 1, right? Like, it just looks so good. God. By the way, guys, yeah, Texas speech donations are like basically like $5 and up. Just like basically the equivalent of a sub. I added Texas speech back for you guys. It's been like years. And I haven't had Texas speech at all. But if you're wondering, that's what it is. I mean, you guys don't have to donate. Please do not feel obligated to. I'm reading chat.
You'd better hope so.
Dude.
This shouldn't take too long.
So much for your shortcut.
Still short, just not quite as quick.
Oh, it just looks so good.
My thoughts exactly.
No, I want to see more. I hope we get a demo too. I really hope so. Oh my god. Something that else as well is that I noticed today that they have this thing where like when you start attacking enemies, right? So like the music does this thing. I guess when you're in like a stage, like not the open zone stuff, but when you're in like a normal like linear stage, the the game does this thing where, oh, this is a bad example. I need the other one. Hold on. Sorry, I keep tabbing back out. It takes a while to load because it's like 4K. But it's like you'll have like the stage music playing, right? And it will be like more of a quieter theme. And then once the actual like combat starts happening in the stage, like whenever you initiate it, it like transitions into a dynamic battle theme that fits, and then transitions right back to like the quiet version of the song. Just like Nier Automata. Nier Automata did that, and I loved it. And so the fact that they're doing that in this, like, just listen to this music and how it transitions. It's like quiet.
Let's try and stay out of its path.
Quiet.
Remember when I said there'd be deadly beasts? Well, the shrubs in these parts aren't much better.
And you only think to mention this now.
So freaking cool, dude.
Keep your distance, boy. It's over. Sick of Torgal.
Dude, Torgal is so good. And then it cuts back to the quiet music right after you finish the battle. It's so cute. I love it. I freaking love it, dude. Oh my gosh. I know we're on Final Fantasy. What games do you want to see from the showcase? I want to see... I would love to see more Final Fantasy. I want to see, not to be like a meme, but I would love to see Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the part 2 to FF7. I really want to see that. I want to see Spider-Man 2. I want to see Last of Us Factions. That's on like the top of my list of gotta know how that gameplay works. I'm really stoked for that. I also would love to see, I'm trying to think of some other stuff. Curious if we'll see anything from like Wolverine as well. I was curious about that. Like we did get an announcement for that like pretty long time ago. I'm curious if they'll even spend any time on that or if they'll just focus on Spider-Man only. But for me, honestly, guys, like to be honest with you, I hate to say it, but my hype is probably like it's like Last of Us Factions, Spider-Man, and then like Final Fantasy stuff. And that's like all I need, dude. And I'm happy because if we just see if I see Cloud in actual gameplay again, that would be really awesome. Seeing how that combat might work. But again, I don't know. That's a very different combat system than this game. So I don't know. I don't know. Have you seen Marty O'Donnell's music video on the creation of the music sound for Halo? Maybe. I've seen a lot of his stuff, so maybe. Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. But I always like looking at his stuff because he documents a lot of the stuff that they did for that stuff. Did they say if the game will have a hard mode? Yeah. I think they're having a hard mode when you beat the game, and there's also a mode that it was in some interview that got released today that they're gonna have something called like Ultimania mode or Ultimaniac mode, and it's gonna make it like super hard, like super freaking hard. So, but I think that they might be doing what FF7 did, where there's only one mode at the start of the game, and they want you to replay the game again for like the hard mode. I don't know if I like that decision or not, to be honest. But that could make me do another playthrough. I might play through this game twice out of the gate because, god dang, I really want a hard mode. I think it'd be really fun. What else do they have on here? They have, let's see. Here's another battle scene. Like, dude. So this is like a mini boss over here. Dodges. He just pulled the enemy. He just fully pulled the enemy right there. Dude, that's so satisfying. Jesus. You got Jill helping with like ice powers. My lord, dude. This thing's beefy. Oh, he got staggered. Oh my god. I wonder if this is like a boss. I have no idea. Like I guess it's a mini boss, right? I don't know. I'm gonna be vibing in this game so much though, chat. Like, I'll turn it down a little bit.
Not this time. Too slow. Not this time.
Not this time. Oh.
Better already.
What the hell is that? Did he just buff himself? Yeah, he used potions.
Glad you're here.
Bro. There's something about seeing your dog just like doing somersaults like Sonic at the enemy. It's so funny.
Keep your distance, boy.
Keep your distance, boy. Oh man. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm like, because they haven't shown, like they've shown a lot of this game. They really have, but they also haven't shown a lot of things. Like, there's like, what, like 7 or 8 icons in the game, like gods.
Hard. Kiss Mark.
Hey,
Man.
Preston, what's up? There's like 7 or 8 icons in the game, and so you're gonna get the abilities of all these gods, I assume, throughout it. But we haven't seen how all that works. Like, we've only really seen like, okay, maybe Phoenix and some Ifrit stuff. I think Ifrit works as like an ultimate. I think maybe like Garuda, right? Like the wind powers and stuff where you can, I think it's like pulling an enemy to you. But like we haven't seen a lot of the other ones. And so I'm just like really curious, like how many more can you actually have? Where does the story go as well? They like, I think it's pretty obvious that there's going to be like some sort of very dark stuff happening in the intro of the game. And it's going to set them on this path. But past that, I don't know. Like, I don't know where you would go. I mean, they could do anything. It seems a very simple premise, but like one that I can intimately connect to. I don't know. I'm really stoked. Preston, thank you so much for the resub again, dude. Why did you send that? Why did you send those emails? Yo, Chiseled! Whoa!
Hopefully the bosses are as hard as Elden Ring bosses.
I don't know if they'll be as hard as Elden Ring bosses. Thank you for the 15, dude. You're insane. Chat, get some 07s, please, for all the donuts and everything coming in from Chiseled as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. I imagine, just like for expectation's sake, I bet it's gonna be, because there's only one difficulty at the start. I bet it's gonna be like normal to hard at times. I don't think it's gonna be like beyond challenging, because they seem very focused on being like more accessible and stuff. But then if you want to take it to the next level, then play through 2 and stuff, that's when it gets nuts. But I am with you. I hope that there are some bosses that actually give me like a rough time. And probably there will be some, for sure, because just the way the combat looks, if the game is a cakewalk, that would be kind of boring. It needs to have that. And also it seems like they're inspired by a lot of games in that fashion a little bit. Like, not necessarily a Souls game though. But again, I equate it to more God of War. Like, if there's like maybe a difficulty to equate it to, maybe that, you know what I mean? Like, think of like what normal difficulty God of War might be, and that might be how this game works in the first playthrough. That's my guess. So there might be bosses where you have to kind of figure them out, but it's possible. It's not like anger inducing, you know? There's like a bunch of stuff where they have like accessibility options where you can put on like a ring on Clive and he'll like do a dodge automatically if you want him to, if you want to play the game just for more of the story, which I think is pretty cool. And it'll show it like in the HUD somewhere, so you can like see if the player has that on or not. again, loving that games are starting to do that. It's like, oh, you want to put on this feature? Well, we're also going to show your stream that you're not lying. I'm like, cool. That's cool. Do you know if mono audio is there? Probably, but I don't know. I would guess so, but I have no idea. Truly. Let's see what other stuff that came out today. Let's see. I want to look at Final Fantasy Ultra Maniac because I want to hear what that was. Final Fantasy 16 hard difficulty. Where the heck is it? I swear I saw it today. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. See if I can find some stuff I was linking for. Let me put on some music still. Okay. Final Fantasy 16 is confirmed to have a demo that will essentially be the beginning of the game. And it says the demo save data will carry over to the actual game. That's really freaking cool. So we might get a demo soon, chat. It'd be crazy if the conference had a demo that came out. That'd be wild. Man, where's like, I swear I saw something about hold on. I'll try to look it up on Twitter. Okay, here it is. Okay, this is what I saw. Final Fantasy 16 will have 2 New Game Plus difficulty modes. Final Fantasy mode will carry your gear, level, and abilities while remixing enemy placements and making them stronger and more aggressive. After that, there will be an Ultimaniac mode that will be even harder. Weird. Ryota Suzuki has said that he considers Final Fantasy 16 to have a higher level of challenge as Dante Must Die in Devil May Cry 5. I don't know what that is because I never played DMC 5. But maybe there's actually like a really, really hard challenging mode. Weird. Also hype. So Chiseled, maybe you'll get your wish. Maybe there's gonna be some really like hardcore stuff. When did you play DMC 5 real fast? Yeah, I still haven't. Holy dude. Bro, the music. Alex right now, if you guys know, I might butcher this name, but Alex, is it Mukala? Hopefully I said that right. He is amazing. And he just tweeted out Final Fantasy 16 soundtrack go burr. I guess he's like mixing his own version of it. Dude, I need that. I need that. Crazy. The music is so beautiful. Right, it's gonna be kind of bad quality because Twitter. You can see the little animals and stuff. It's cute. Stop, dude. Why does this game just look so good? Oh my god. Let's see. Everything about the scene is breathtaking, especially the music and Shiva. Holy crap. Reddit, Twitter chat, so keep in mind it's gonna look way better than this. Oh my god, dude. Oh. What the heck? Oh man. Absolutely love this answer from Final Fantasy 16. Naoki Yoshida in the Push Square interview published today. So my final question is, there's been a lot of debate online about what makes a Final Fantasy game a Final Fantasy game. Is it the story? Is it the characters? Is it the combat systems? I'm curious for you. What is it to you? My answer is simple. You need to have the best story. You need to have the best graphics. You need to have the best battle system. You need to have a lot of content. You need to have the chocobos. You need to have the Moogles. You need to have great sound. And that makes a Final Fantasy. And if you're missing even one of them, the fans will hate you forever. Dude, that's crazy. Wow. I mean, kind of true. Oh my god. There is party dialogue while exploring. Here, Clive is revisiting parts of his destroyed homeland 13 years later with Jill and witnessing how things had changed, or didn't in this case.
They never finished building the bridge then.
After what happened at Phoenix Gate, it didn't seem the highest priority.
I'm gonna end up shipping them so hard, aren't I? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Anyways, oh yeah, also saw this too. It says, this was also on Twitter today. Final Fantasy 16 is currently not planned to get a day one patch. They want people without an internet connection to enjoy the game right out of the gate. He says things could change, but the game on the disc should be playable. Just out of the gate. No patch. That's crazy. That is actually wild in this day and age. So that's really cool. What else? What else we got? Dude. God. Wait, you can hold on, chat. There's a parry. Here's a parry. Apparently there's a parry with this.
Year-long streak, let's go.
Year-long streak, let's go. Let's go. Check Kids of Osos or Kipter. Thank you so much. Thank you. 12 is a long time, man. Oh, they said there's a parry. That's not a parry. Okay, dude. Wait. Okay, so he parried it, then it goes into like time slow mode after the parry hit. Dude. Okay. God dang it. I want to play this game. I just want to play this game. This is Clive and Joshua's father. I want to. Where's this gameplay at? Where are people finding this, dude? Let's see. Hold on. I don't know. Maybe it's just here. Maybe this is another cutscene. Again, Twitter. God dang it, Twitter. Look good. This is the king.
My friends.
Welcome home, Father.
Thank you,
Oh, I'll
Joshua.
put this to use.
You should get Noah to do an EDM show in the back of the room while you stream.
Dude, that would be sick, but Noah would never in a million years. Noah would be like, this stream's boring. JC's just talking about Final Fantasy. I'm out of here. Chisel, thank you for the $7. I don't even know. I imagine Noah went to EDC this past weekend, probably. He probably did. So, I think he did. Yeah, he did. I haven't seen him in a bit. But I miss the lad. I want to, like, every time I've ever gone over to his place, he has, like, a DJ setup that's, like, in his, like, living room. And he just, like, will sometimes just start going and just start bopping. And I'm like, dude, what is going on? Like, this man is addicted to it. But no, he's not gonna come to the setup ever again. No way.
Home, Father.
Thank you, Joshua. You are well, I trust.
Yes, Father. Much better. Today,
I'm just gonna say it. Prediction time. I think all of them are gonna die. I think the dad's gonna die. I think Joshua's gonna die. I think everybody's gonna die. That is like, Joshua is way too cute. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just like so innocent.
Welcome home, Father.
Welcome home, Father. Like, I butchered that, by the way. Please don't get mad at me. I'm so sorry to the UK. I'm so sorry. But he's got like the cute, like.
Thank you, Joshua.
Liam's fuming.
You are well, I trust.
Yes, Father. Much better. Today, Julia and I went to the Bailey to watch Clive's spa.
We watched Clive's spa. It's literally, dude, no, you know what it is? You know what it is? It's literally, do you guys remember Game of Thrones season 1? I'm going to keep making the Game of Thrones comparisons. But I think it really is like this. You remember season 1, Jon Snow is like, you know, he's a bastard, right? And he has like all of his brothers. And they're all like kind of sparring out in the front yard. And then like basically over the course of season 1, they all kind of like go in different directions. Like, I feel like that's like what this is too. It's like, it's Clive that is his brothers to Joshua, right? And something is going to happen that tears them apart.
Father, much better. Today, Julia and I went to the Bailey to watch
so
Clive's
cute.
spa.
Is that so?
Is the situation truly so grave?
Come to the throne room. We will talk there.
Yes, Father. Your Grace.
Shields dismissed.
Oh my god. And Jill's holding Torgal. It's so cute, bro. That's so cute. Oh my god. I just spit everywhere. I'm gonna throw up from how cute it is. Oh. Wait. So this is Yoshida talking about the numbers for the Final Fantasy games. The numbers must be difficult, like numbering it as Final Fantasy 16. A lot of players are going to come in and they're going to look at it like a comic book where you have to read from the beginning to know what's going on now. It's hard for marketing because every numbered title that we release in the series, we have to go into it like it's okay. You don't have to play the rest of them. Do you think you'd ever just ditch the numbers entirely? We've seen big franchises like God of War reboot, even though it wasn't actually a reboot, kind of, but with no numbered entries. That's actually something I've discussed with the higher-ups. Maybe it's about time we remove the numbers from the title. For example, you have Final Fantasy 14. You get a new player coming in, and it's like, wait a minute, why do I have to play Final Fantasy 14 if 16 is out? Why don't we just call it Final Fantasy Online? Just get rid of the number altogether, and that'll make it easier to understand. Whether Final Fantasy 17 or Final Fantasy 18 should have a number or not, that's going to be on whoever has to develop that game and whoever's in charge of the branding. So that's their problem, not ours. That's such a honest and transparent response. Like saying the words Final Fantasy 17 just like off the like that's like a no-no. Like he's fully saying like the next numbered games, you know, like so crazy he's just able to say that. That's so funny. Oh my god. Oh man. All right, what do we got? What else we got? I love just looking at all this stuff. What the hell? For the music.
Perhaps you have not heard, but the Ironblood now have their own dominant. We would be fools to underestimate them.
Bugger their knights.
What did you say?
Should this citadel be allowed to fall, the capital will lie exposed. And I doubt the Crusaders will wait for the good king's pawns to line up before taking to the board.
Why is everyone British?
I don't know. I guess because, I don't know. They're going for that, like, style, I guess. Like, they're going for, like, that Game of Thronesy style, I guess.
And I doubt the Crusaders will wait
I don't know.
for the good king's pawns
Chisel, thank
to
you
line
again.
up before
You're
taking
donating
to
like
the
crazy, dude. Thank you so much. Damn, he just blew smoke in his face.
Which just
dude, I want to see more cutscenes, dude. They look so well done. God. I'm excited. I'm really excited, chat. This is just a clip on Twitter that just says Torgal and Jill. Game of the year? Dude, that's it. That's it. I'm sold, man. That's it. Little cute puppy Torgal. Yeah. Yeah, that's all they have to show. My God. How does that dog become like a battle warrior? How does that happen? We do not know. Jesus. Yeah, it's probably, let's see, Final Fantasy 16 preview. Let me look at like one more preview and I'll be satisfied, chat. What about I saw, what was it Blitz? I think I want to watch that one because I didn't see that one. Is this? Yeah. We'll watch a little bit and just see what.
So before going into Final Fantasy 16, I was already expecting.
This is a YouTuber by the name of Blitz, chat.
Great things, from the combat to being supervised by legendary specialists in the industry, the graphics and performance on the PlayStation 5 being the gold standard, and of course the story and characters with the team responsible for Final Fantasy 14 and all of its success. It was safe to say that this game was in great hands. But after finally getting the opportunity to play and experience this game for over 6 hours thanks to Square Enix, I can confidently say Final Fantasy 16 is without a doubt my game of the year and a very strong candidate worthy of this title among many other great games to come. 2023 is going to be quite possibly the best that gaming has ever seen.
I'm so with that too. I think this year has been absolutely crazy. Like, I know there's been like some things where people have been like, oh wow, like you know, like Redfall got like a lot of criticism and all that kind of stuff like the past couple of weeks. But dude, when you really look at the games, especially on the single player side, like not like there are still good live service stuff, absolutely, but for some reason like the single player games this year have been hitting. Like, just, I don't know if it's COVID like finally caught up and like all these games that were developed through like all the problems of COVID like are finally coming out now. Like, I don't know if that's what it is, but dude, like Jedi Survivor, granted it had its problems at launch, but terrific game. This looks like a Game of the Year contender. Zelda, Game of the Year contender. We still have Starfield on the way. We still have Spider-Man 2 on the way. Like this is one of those years. I agree with Blitz. Record like year for. I feel like this 2023 will be looked at as like a year we had some bangers.
Very strong candidate
and movies. True.
Worthy of this title among many other great games to come. 2023 is going to be quite possibly the best that gaming has ever seen in a very long time. It's safe to say we are all winning with this. I also want to get a few things out of the way. A lot of people have been expressing concern in regards to Square Enix possibly showing way too much of this game when it comes to the story of Final Fantasy.
That's what I've been saying. I'm like, dude, they don't even have to show me anything else. Like, they keep on doing events for it.
16. I can without any doubt say there is a whole lot more left to be seen in this game, and we have yet to even begin to scratch the surface. And a lot of you guys will be seeing that firsthand early on when you get your hands on it and your chance to finally play it. The scenes you've been seeing dozens of times in trailers are completely different from what you'd expect when you finally see the full picture and context of it. They did a great job editing around it and hiding details. By the way, now I can answer a lot more questions in the comments below, so please comment your questions and I will answer whatever it is that I can. As long as it pertains to what it is that I played, I got you. I'm just very glad this embargo has finally lifted and this crazy person can finally talk about this game. Also, a lot of this footage in this video and what I played are earlier moments in the story and the game segments that we've pretty much seen a lot of already.
Also, yeah, Resident Evil 4. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
We only got to play the first 4 hours with only the base moves and Phoenix abilities. The Titan and Garuda abilities were separate save files for other areas of the game that Square Enix allowed us to briefly play, but were limited due to story spoilers. I'm sorry guys, there's no Odin, Shiva, or Bahamut footage in this one.
That's okay.
They really wanted to give us a solid intro perspective to experience the fundamentals without delving too deep into the story and mechanics by overwhelming players and giving too much away. And yes, I will be breaking down that mechanic that Gamebreaker God discovered and shared with me, the one that Yoshi P saw me doing. And I will be mostly talking about interesting new gameplay elements which were not mentioned before in other Final Fantasy XVI videos. Starting with the graphics. YouTube and its bitrate compression does not do Final Fantasy XVI justice. Well, this goes for me.
We're so screwed. We are so screwed as streamers. I'm screwed, guys. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to, like, stream this game and it look good through the bitrate of streaming. I just don't know how. Like, there's so many particles that are going to be happening in this game. And the fact that Twitch is capped at 6,000 kilobytes a second is BS. Like, I literally am, like, terrified of this playthrough being, like, not looking good for you guys, even though it looks good for me. Because there's just going to be so much happening. Like, games are progressing so much more in graphics, but the streaming services that we're using are not. Twitch has been 6K... 6 megabytes for literally what, like 10 years. Like it literally like has not changed. Like, I don't know why they can't update it. Like, YouTube, you can actually do more. But for some reason people think the encoder on YouTube is still not as good as Twitch's, but it's just, I don't know.
Not mentioned before
I hope
in
it looks
other
okay.
Final Fantasy 16 videos. 16 Justice. Well, this goes for many games, to be honest. I'm rendering this video right now in the highest possible quality, but even then it pales in comparison to how the raw gameplay looks in front of you. For this video, even if your device is not 4K, please select the 4K viewing option so you can use the VP9 encoding to upscale the quality for the best that it can. It'll look good on any device. In Final Fantasy 16, I tested both the graphical focused 4K option and the performance 60 frames mode. And honestly, you're going to want to be playing it in the performance mode because it's very responsive with the inputs and it still looks fantastic graphically. However, one thing that's very interesting by default, even when you are in performance mode 60 frames, the cutscenes do revert back to the graphical focused whenever they show up. This concerned me at first, but it's not really 30 frames per second. It looks to be a little bit more closer to the 40 frames per second range and slightly higher than that. It was absolutely very stable, and the cutscenes did not look choppy at all.
Okay, that's good. I guess maybe it's like Nier Automata. Nier Automata did that too. I think it was like you would get to a cutscene and then it would like cut to like the black bars and would be like a 30 FPS cutscene instead. But he's saying it might not be 30, actually might be still higher.
It was done mostly so that they could retain the highest quality graphics possible because there are some cutscenes that really push the bar and they want you to see them in the best.
So it's more like when you get to a cutscene, you're more watching more like of a movie look, which makes sense.
For all the updates and game-breaking guides for Final Fantasy 16, which we will be making on the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Only 14%.
Dude, this guy's got a like really good voice, and this is a really good video.
For you guys who watch and love the videos are currently subbed, let's raise that number even higher and
Shout
get
out to
ready
Blitz.
because this is just the beginning. Things are getting crazy.
I will not be re-uploading your video myself. I'm just watching it on stream.
Easier from here. And now with that being said,
I'm not like that.
Let's get into the video. During my play session with Final Fantasy XVI, my main focus was absorbing everything that the combat had to offer, which we found lots of and I will be talking about. However, all of that immediately got put on the back burner because I was instantly captivated by the music, which as always is the Square Enix staple of never missing, so you know what to expect. Great, impactful music that will stick with you for months. I still find myself humming the opening and world themes of the game. Soken continues to create emotionally driving tracks that really emphasizes on urgency and tension, while bringing on brilliant twists of classic themes many of you guys will recognize and love. And not only that, the character performances will absolutely floor you in this game. The acting in Final Fantasy XVI is beyond anything that you've ever seen in the series to this point.
Dude, there's nothing but praise so far. This man has not said a complaint.
It will set the bar not only for Final Fantasy, but for many other games being developed by other companies. Final Fantasy games have done a great job with their voice actings before, but now more than ever, with Final Fantasy XVI, the conversations, the emotions, dialogue, it all feels real. There are no forced anime grunts, there's no constant sighs, and there's no random gasps. These feel like real people conversing about real problems in a real but obviously fantasy world. And I can't stress how important this is for keeping you guys engaged from the jump, especially with this story that they're trying to tell. Square Enix is very confident with this game, and rightfully so. It hits all the boxes properly. You will not be disappointed anytime a character in this game opens their mouth. So far, all the characters that I've had the opportunity to experience are really well done. Joshua, Benedicta, and Cid steal the show for me personally. And by the way, it's already well known that Cid is a fan favorite in 16, but there are...
do you prefer Resident Evil or Final Fantasy series? I mean, it's hard. I've played more Resident Evil games for sure. But I think if there's like a game that is... weirdly enough, if you looked at me and you're like, JC, what is your what are like two of your favorite series right now in gaming that you think is hitting it out of the park? I'm literally, my go-to would be those two. I really do think that Resident Evil has hit a stride in the last couple of years, where since FF7 really, I haven't really seen them make like a blunder, like one that's like really been like terrible. Like it's always been like pretty solid. RE3 remake got some flack because it was short and they cut some stuff from the original game, but I never even played the original game, so I just enjoyed it for what it was. And I love seeing Jill in that game. So like I've liked every Resident Evil game that they've made since RE7 onwards. And that's been a while now. Like I feel like they've been hitting a home run, and RE4 I think was just another home run. I think RE8, I've said it before, RE8 and RE4 are my two favorite Resident Evil games ever, and they came out back to back. Like how does that even happen? Like they made two of the best games in the whole series. One's a remake of one that was already the best game, one of the best games in the series, and then one's a completely new one. And it's like, and they're different perspectives too, first person and third, and it's still two of the best in the entire series. So I think Resident Evil has hit a really good stride. But I'm a newer Final Fantasy, so I'm not gonna sit here and like lie to you guys and be like, oh, I've been into Final Fantasy for 5 years. No, I've been into Final Fantasy since 2020, when Final Fantasy VII Remake came out. I really wanted to check out the series because I've always heard good things about it. And I was like, oh, they're making a remake of FF7. That's like the legendary Final Fantasy game that everybody remembers, right? I want to check that out. Why not? Let me finally get into it. And we played the demo. We got into it. You guys were like, oh, you got to play it. And we played on stream. It was one of my favorite playthroughs ever. I think it's currently in my top 5 list of video games I've ever played. I think top 5. It's either top 5 or top 10. It's somewhere in that list when we made that whole list that one day on stream. And yeah, like I think there was just something I really connected with Final Fantasy. And then once I started playing the MMO as well, and I connected more with that like community and playing that together with some of you guys and really seeing like the passion and not to say that other studios don't have passion for games. It's not what I'm saying. It's just like there's something about the Final Fantasy community and stuff that they've fostered that, yes, there's always going to be like, bad apples in every community. But I've never seen a community like the Final Fantasy XIV MMO was like. When I got into the MMO, like 2 years ago when I tried it, I would chat, like, literally, I got into, like, I started the expansion of, like, Heavensward, which is the first expansion. And when I got to that world in the game, there was, like, people in the game welcoming me to the game. Like, there was literally, like, a line of people that I think our community, like asked a couple of people in the server, like just random people, like, oh, someone new is playing, and they all like got into a line and like welcomed me and popped champagne for me in the game. And I'm like, what is this, dude? Like they were just so happy to see a new player on the game. And I was like, that's so freaking cool. Like just, it felt so open as someone new getting into it. And I think what this is, the reason why I'm so hyped for this is because I've never had like a Final Fantasy game that I've been there on launch and been like, oh yeah, this is like my Final Fantasy game that I get to experience at the same time as everybody else. Like FF7 Remake was like, yes, that's cool, that's awesome, and sure, it was new in a way, but it was still based on something old. Like I didn't know the Final Fantasy VII story when I was playing it, right? So it was still a little bit different. Still felt like I was a newcomer. But like this time around, I really do feel like that I've gotten a grasp on what Final Fantasy is about. And I've learned a lot about this series over the past like couple years. And this one just feels like one that I'm going to like really, I can just tell I'm going to hold this game to my heart pretty closely. I can just tell I'm going to like it. They would have to do something crazy for me not to like this game at this point. Everything I've seen about it, I'm like, it looks super fun. Like, sure, I gotta try it in my hands 100%, but like the story would have to be so bad or something for me to not like this game. Like, I think no matter what, at a baseline level, I'm gonna really, really like it. And if the story is phenomenal, it's gonna just jump, and it's gonna jump and jump and jump on like on my favorites list. So I don't know. It's hard for me to like say which series I like more, but I would say if there was like, this game looks very replayable, and I think I would have more fun replaying this game than Resident Evil. It's no offense to Resident Evil. I've just like the survival horror stuff, just, you know, it stresses me out. And sure, like Souls type games and action like games like this like can also stress you out, but like I feel like there is more room. I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be more fun for me to like play and then like show Emmy and be like, hey, look how sick this is. I don't know how to explain that. It's just, it looks like it's more up my alley in terms of what I like. It's got the storytelling that I really want. It's got the gameplay and the spectacle that I really want. It reminds me of some stuff that I played as a kid in like Sonic games in some way, like I've been saying. Like it just feels like unashamedly a video game in the best way. And I don't know. I just think maybe in the long term, I'd probably say Final Fantasy is my favorite series out of everything I've been playing lately. But for right now, I've played more Resident Evil games.
Many more layers we have yet to witness with this character. He is my favorite so far and offers a lot.
Look how sick she looks. Can we just talk about this? Like, so she's the god of Garuda, right? Like the wind god.
We have yet to witness with this character. He is my favorite so far and offers
Jesus Christ
a lot to the journey ahead of us. And we've only just gotten started. Sid will be bringing out the best in Clive. You can see early moments already of how Sid just overall makes Clive a better person.
Just like the pig on fire, remember, JC? True.
And I cannot wait for you guys to be blessed by their lines together.
Thanks for putting so much thought in your answer. Of course.
Actors really own each of their characters' roles and completely knock all expectations even further out the park. I really wish I could go into more detail with the story because it's all I've been thinking about since I've gotten to play it.
That's awesome.
But I think more than anything else, you guys all deserve to dive into this on your own, and I would absolutely be doing an injustice by robbing you guys of that experience. Now, when it comes to the zone and world traversing portions of the game, which a lot of you guys are very excited to hear about, the first 4 to 5 hours from what I played mostly require that you fast travel from objectives via the world map menu. I did get to play one open zone area, and it was a pretty big design with fields filled with foliage. However, I unfortunately could only access half of this due to the other half being limited for story restrictions.
Oh.
Even though my access for this area was restricted, like I said, it was still very large. And just to give you guys a little comparison, the previous gameplay demonstrations from Yoshi P at PAX East, both of those zones he showcased were significantly larger than what I played. So I am confident that we are going to be in these zones for quite some time with way more exploration packed into it. This segment let me control Clive with Torgal and Jill by my side. Enemies are spread out with a wide variety of them. You can actually see them in the distance as you approach them. From the weaker Crayclaw enemies,
yeah, it seems maybe like Jedi, yeah.
Bighorn and Gigas enemies, which have way more health and defense, so fights against them take much longer than the smaller crowds. And there are side missions to participate in, such as helping this courier deliver a package, which talking to him gives a little bit more insight as to how bearers with tattoo marks are being treated. He reacts poorly to seeing that Clive is a bearer and mentions that it's okay to use another man's branded, I suppose. Also, Clive and Jill have dialogue about various things in the world to develop more backstory. For example, I recall them having a conversation about a bridge that used to exist here back in the day, in the area that they're currently exploring.
That's what we saw earlier on
At
Twitter.
this point, I expect every sentence heard in this game to deliver us valuable pieces of lore in this story and provide tons of extra information for us. The only complaint from this segment I have is a minor one that may or may not be an issue for others. But again, I feel like I should be mentioning it for myself because it relates to the music during this field area. The track playing is a beautiful one, and I find myself humming it a lot till this day. When you get into a battle, obviously the music switches to a battle theme. But when that battle is over, instead of continuing the world theme where the song left off before the battle started, the world theme starts over again from the beginning, which is very noticeable when you fight enemies with less health, since the battles start and end very quickly. Like the
Wait, that's weird though, because there is examples today of that not being the case in like the normal stages. So is the open world different? Like, okay, so here's what I imagine it is. He's saying that you go into like battle theme, and then when you come out of it and it switches back to the track of like the open world, and it's jarring that it restarts the track. But what's weird is that in the stages, like the actual linear levels, it has the quiet and then dynamic soundtrack that like ebbs and flows back and forth. So I'm wondering if the open world is just different then. I don't know. Weird.
Claw enemies. And as Clive gets access to more abilities, he can delete enemies' health bars at a much faster rate. These enemies die quickly, and it can be kind of annoying to hear the world song restarting over and over again after every fight. Like I said before, there are other enemies who have higher defense.
Dude, that's so funny. Like, think about like everything that you could complain about in a video, and this is his like this is so funny, like in a good way. Like, I'm not like this is like a really good video. Like Blitz is doing great with this, but I just think that's so funny that like the minor issue in the chapter is, yeah, like sometimes like the song restarts and like, you know, like it just restarts too much. Like, think about like how much worse that like an issue could be with the game. Like,
and health
like that's the thing that's
so
negative.
Fights will be longer, and this won't be as noticeable for some people.
Like,
but coming from Final Fantasy VII Remake,
like we're really picking
it was interesting to see.
Like you could be like, man, the combat just doesn't feel good, but no, it's like, I guess the music is sometimes like.
How that game did its music transitions. When battles start in Final Fantasy VII Remake and end, it's perfectly blended to transition almost seamlessly without you even noticing that even happened.
I think 16 does that too in some areas though, because I saw the clip of it earlier.
I only noticed it in this part of Final Fantasy 16, and I don't recall this happening before or in the earlier portions, but it's something that I will be keeping my eye on. And again, it's not a huge deal, but it's just something that I figured I mentioned because I noticed it for sure. As I got better at the game, I was getting a little bit more annoyed with the song just restarting. Now, let's talk about the gameplay. The controls in Final Fantasy 16 have a smooth learning curve. I did find myself in the beginning accidentally hitting circle to try to dodge, like you would in most games, but
it's not circle?
Actually, the dodge button is R1. It's
R1? Oh, I'm gonna change that.
It took only a few minutes to rewire my brain for that, but the circle button is tied to your icon ability for passives. It can
so I'm always an L1 or circle dodge gamer. Like, if I could swap dodge and put on L1, I think that's what I would do maybe for this. If it doesn't have the option to make circle that way. But I've always liked L1 as a dodge too. So, but R1's a weird one. That's
Wire
weird.
my brain for that. But the circle button is tied to your icon ability for passives. It can.
Wait, so this must be the whole controller right here. R2, then circle is Phoenix shift, then square is attack, then triangle's fire, like your magic, and then jump, I guess, is X.
Be a gap closer, like with Phoenix and Garuda, or a defensive counterattack, like with Titan. Phoenix, for example, has a dash ability to close the gap on the enemy. I found myself trying to press this to try to dodge backwards and avoid attacks, but this move will only move Clive forward and towards enemies. Garuda's circle ability, Deadly Embrace, grabs and pulls enemies into Clive to start combos.
I love that it shows at the bottom. Like, I can't say that enough, chat. I absolutely love the little detail of just like, you can see the buttons being pressed and what buttons are being used. And like, so the one he's describing is he swapped to Garuda's ability, and instead of dashing towards enemies, I guess the circle button pulls them.
Garuda's circle ability, Deadly Embrace, grabs and pulls enemies into Clive to start combos or to continue them and string them even further. But if the enemy is a bit too large, it turns into Deadly Jump and launches Clive upwards to combo enemies. Final Fantasy XVI offers a great amount of tutorials, which gives you a lot of insight to your moves. I unfortunately, in the beginning, skipped the one about the circle ability early on because I was way too eager to play the game. And that's
how is he doing these crazy attacks? Look at like the buttons at the bottom. All of a sudden it just switches. What the hell is that?
Because I was way too eager to play the game, and that's just my fault. With each icon ability, Clive will have 5 different moves on his buttons. Holding down R2 will give you access.
Oh, you hold down R2 for them.
Access to his 2 cooldown moves. Triangle is his ranged attack, level 1 magic. If you hold it, Clive will charge it up and do level 2 magic, going from Arrow to Aurora or Fire to Fyra. So you get the gist of it. My favorite icons to use was a tie between Phoenix and Titan. That is until Fighting Cowboy, shoutouts to him, showed me that Titan's Oro Punch can actually be unlocked and triggered on a circle perfect blocked attack for a satisfying pummeling of the enemy, making a sweet parry effect option that was super addicting to keep going for and baiting out against enemies. Again, shoutouts to Fighting Cowboy for that. For me and what I played with, it ranks with Titan, Phoenix, and Garuda as of right now. A lot of the moves were limited to what we could unlock, unfortunately, but it's still impressive to note that even though I had 6 hours with the game, there was still so much left on the table to uncover and discover. The amount of detail and polish is already felt with what we were able to play. So the full unlocked game is about to be something completely crazy that I don't even know if I'm ready for. A lot of people ask about Ifrit's abilities and why doesn't Clive use Ifrit's moves? Well, based on what I played, I can give you an answer to that. While we don't have Ifrit abilities to switch in and out of like we can with Phoenix, Garuda, and Titan, Ifrit's abilities are tied to the limit break Clive has access to. It functions essentially like a devil trigger from Devil May Cry.
Dude, that's so cool, man. Like, look at the fire on like the rims of the screen.
Break Clive has access to. It functions essentially like a devil trigger from Devil May Cry, transforming his limbs and body in flames,
Spartan Rage,
emitting crazy damage,
similar as well,
and different attacks, while also increasing his speed. All of this, but for a limited time. The limit break bar can be expanded as you continue to play. I've seen in screenshots and other footage, it gets significantly longer. I think 5 bars total.
Oh, so you must, like, on the left here, you must press L2 to switch to the other Titan, or the other icon abilities. Maybe.
So I can imagine by then, Clive will be doing even crazier stuff with it. Canceling combos with this felt amazing above everything else. But there very well will be more, and we haven't seen anything yet. Phoenix feels like the natural bread and butter icon ability to have on, where you're dealing burst damage and can juggle enemies up with uppercuts and closing the gap. It's very well rounded and gets the job done. It's not the best.
I assume you can chain them. I assume you could do Phoenix, and then once you're there, press L2, swap to Titan, then you do a crazy block move or something like that. Like, that's what I assume. You'd like be able to chain through all of them.
Of course, but you can't go wrong with Phoenix for any playstyle. Garuda's abilities do less damage, at least to the point where I was at, and this sacrifice is done in order to deal quick strikes and CC the enemies by pulling them in and extending combos. And it also allows you to do aerial combos too. I wanted to do more experiments with Garuda, like seeing if, because it does less damage overall, it'll increase the stagger gauge faster by sacrificing damage total. But I didn't really get enough time with it to try to experiment with that. The demo I played mostly featured Phoenix because it was at the beginning of the game, but the portions with Garuda and Titan were only 30 minutes.
I really like the HUD in this game.
Each. Titan is a steamroller of an icon. Literally. Those abilities are all generally AoE based, hitting multiple times too. And they also depend on the defensive playstyle, but you could obviously use it very well offensively. It's different in the sense that you're required to hold down the ability and time the
Y'all convinced me I'm downloading Final Fantasy 14. The MMO? See ya in 3 years. Good luck, gamer. I will say Final Fantasy 14 is a little overwhelming at the start, but if you just do main quest and don't worry about all the other side missions and stuff, you will not be as overwhelmed, and it will get you through. But that game is very different combat from this game. That is an MMO World of Warcraft style combat.
No.
So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's a very different type of game.
This will increase the
What's up, Jumpix? Hey.
damage and the range at which
we're about to play Zelda chat. Literally, I'm almost done. I just want to see
the
this.
attacks are landed. And early on,
like I said, Emmy's not here tonight, so I'm literally gonna be able to play for a couple hours.
When you have only one icon ability, fights are naturally longer. The cooldowns of each move recovers slowly, but as you get more, especially 3 total icon abilities, I noticed the cooldown times were significantly shorter, and you can cycle between all attacks and cooldowns at once as fast as you could. I was spamming each one and switching between each icon to hit every cooldown that I could, and by the time I got to the last ability in rotation, the first ability was almost back up from cooldown, meaning there are some insane gameplay and combo loop potentials left to discover, and we'll be doing a lot of that as soon as this game drops. Now for the cancel Gamebreaker Godfound. Shoutouts to him again.
The cancel?
There is a jump cancel animation where Clive can jump with X, tap triangle for a range attack, and
you can wait. All right, let me listen to this.
Again, there is a jump cancel animation where Clive can jump with X, tap triangle for a range attack, and R1 dash to cancel the landing lag of it. You could also do this the other way too, where you jump, dash forward, and press triangle for the range attack. It works either way. I was able to shorten the gaps of combo strings by doing this and initiate combo strings faster by doing this. Also, outside of combat, using this was making Clive run faster than sprinting, to which it does look pretty weird and it's kind of funny to see Clive do. This is what Yoshi P was standing behind me and watching me do. I was practicing the timing down for it and trying to see how fast I can move with Clive compared to sprinting. I preferred it more than sprinting, to be honest, because you can change Clive's direction really quickly with it and do it at any moment. And it also felt really fun to press. So again, Yoshi P, please don't remove it.
They were standing behind him watching him do it. They're like, why aren't you sprinting? What are you doing? What button combo are you doing right now, huh?
A lot of combo finisher moves that Clive has, such as Stinger from Devil May Cry, that have long recovery ending lag animations. So jump canceling helped me to clip the animation of that and many other moves to string together more combo scenarios. Like I said, this is just the first animation cancel found in the game. There for sure will be many, many more and have tons of other uses. The best use that I could find was for movement speed for now and clipping various move animations and recovery frames. Some move animations had a hard time clipping or just didn't work, such as the aerial sword slam where Clive slams down on enemies after doing an aerial attack. That animation was not clippable from what I could see, and Clive had to go through the entire recovery animation after landing it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but with a little bit more practice, we might be able to figure that out. And it won't be long.
I love that they're already trying to like break the combat.
Until more broken combinations are discovered, because the best
all good, Grim. I'm sorry I'm taking so long to get to
anything that I played in Final Fantasy 16.
Hope you have a good night if you have to go.
16 was the training and practice mode found in the hideaway.
Training and practice mode.
As soon as we got to the hideaway, we were introduced to various characters and side quests. But as part of the main quest progression, we're required to interact with training mode and explore it and try it out. Guys, this thing is the Devil May Cry Void mode, but way, way crazier. It legit has a button command history like a fighting game.
No. Are you kidding me? It has a button history? It's underneath my face cam. Also, it has a battle performance like number behind my face cam right now. You guys can't see it. But what?
Show you what combo inputs and timing will be like. You can even set the enemy dummies to do certain moves, so you can practice your reaction time and combos. And using this mode overall will allow us to find the best combo routes, best cancel routes, and just further opportunities to continue to break the game while teaching you guys how to get better. Outside of the story and gameplay, there's nothing more than this that I'll be dedicating over hundreds of hours for. They seriously don't know what they've unleashed. The training mode is a huge W for Final Fantasy 16, and I will be especially utilizing this to be a valuable tool for newcomers who are not as proficient in battle, but are aiming to get better.
That's
because
so
that's
cool.
what this is designed to do. It's to help you enjoy the game more, overall, learn it at your own pace, and have fun. Square Enix released a short Twitter trailer talking about this, which made me really happy a few weeks ago to be able to talk to you guys about it. But now I can officially reveal that I have already played this mode. I spent a lot of time in there. Clive does have a witch time parry where if you strike an enemy the same time that they're striking you with the square button, Clive will initiate a slowdown effect and be able to quickly execute fast attacks.
That's
but the
so
enemy is frozen in place and forced to take the damage up. The timing of this is pretty weird. I often tried to actively go for this, but I would either be too fast or too slow to consistently hit it, and would instead randomly trigger it when I'm just mashing combos and not even trying to go for it. Of course, it will be easy to master this with training mode, and using Clive's taunts to force enemies to attack him can help you learn to time it better. This is not to be mistaken with the precision dodging. Precision dodging is a whole different thing with the R1 button. This is a straight up parry where Clive's sword attack is hitting the enemy's attack and it's parrying it.
As someone who's into Final Fantasy VII Remake, the best place to begin. You could if you want to, but I don't know if you were here earlier in the stream, but like this is like something that they talk about all the time, and they're like, it's actually a problem that we just read, like the director of the game going, maybe we should drop the numbers because everybody gets so confused about like, do I need to play a previous one or not? You don't. Like, you could play Final Fantasy 16 out of the gate. They're honestly making this game for like new players. They're not connected. It's connected to nothing. It's not connected to any other Final Fantasy game. Like, in terms of like having to play a sequel or anything, like it's its own universe. It's like dude, this is proof, chat. This is proof that maybe it wouldn't be a terrible idea to get rid of the numbers, because like this is like we like people coming in the stream like multiple times tonight. Like, a lot of people have had that question, and it's like it is like definitely like hard to it's hard to like see outright, like just off basic thing, because you see the word 16, you're like, oh my god, hell no, I'm not getting into that. You know what I mean? But this, like, literally treat this as like a new game. Like, there's just a game called Final Fantasy that's new, that's coming out in June. Like, that's how you should look at it. But it has like stuff that might be spiritually connected in some ways, maybe, but no, it's like a new story. But if you wanted to like get into like the series as a whole, because you like the vibes of it, dude, honestly, I did like Final Fantasy VII Remake as a good starting place. Because it's part 1. There's still going to be 2 more parts to that. And the combat will not be like this game, though. Like, 16 is like real-time combat. 7 Remake is kind of like this. It's real-time combat sort of mixed with like choice-based, turn-based stuff a little bit. So like you'll slow down time and tell your partner to like, or you'll slow down time and then control your partner and then use your partner's abilities and then like switch back to your character and switch back to another character like mid-fight with this like sort of slowdown effect. This game is like you were Clive and you were nothing but Clive, and you have all these combos and everything across the whole game. And characters may help you, but you don't control them. So it definitely will play different. Like there's yet to be a Final Fantasy game that plays like this one. And in fact, a lot of OG Final Fantasy fans are kind of like, you know, I don't know if this is even Final Fantasy. It's not turn-based. It's completely different. What's going on? But I think, honestly, this is going to be nothing but a good thing for the series, because there's going to be so many people who play this for the first time and just enjoy the combat, and they're going to be like, wow, like I finally got into Final Fantasy because of this, you know? So yeah, like I would not look at it like you need to play anything. Like, genuinely, it's literally the same as like playing like a Far Cry or something. You know, like how Far Cry 3 is a very different story than Far Cry 4 and all that kind of thing. And those games might be actually more loosely connected in some ways because it might be the same world, but like these are like very different worlds. Each one is its own Final Fantasy. That's why it's called that. So yeah, I don't know. But for me, what got me into the series, Final Fantasy VII Remake, I thought it was great. I really, really enjoyed it. And and then I play a little bit of the MMO, but the MMO is like, you know, like World of Warcraft type combat. It's not like this. So I don't know. Probably the closest thing to this, I guess, is FF7 Remake. Maybe. I don't know. I guess 7 Remake is the closest thing to this, even though it's different. I mean, Final Fantasy 15. I'm playing 15 right now, just to see what it's like, and it is so different from this. Like, dude, the combat in 15, dude, is literally like one button. Like, it's literally, I hold down square, I hold it down, and I, like, Noctis just attacks. And it's really flashy, but there's, like, not much else to it. It's like I hold down square, Noctis is attacking, and I might evade here or there. There's, like, none of the combo potential that this game has. And in that game, too, you can control your companions a little bit more, so there's a little bit more of that nuance, too. But I don't even know if, like, 15 would be a good comparison to this game. I feel like this one really, it does feel like its own. And they keep saying that they're making it for, like, new people. So I'm serious. Like, this is coming out within the next month. Honestly, just play it. just play it and see what you think. And this could be your first Final Fantasy.
Sword attack is hitting the enemy's attack,
totally fine,
and it's parrying it. And above all else, blending your combat properly with Torgal, that's going to be the most important resource to master in your.
You can control the dog though a little
combat,
bit.
And it will make the difference in deleting enemies before they even have a chance to attack. Because you can initiate combo strings with Torgal and end combo attacks with them for maximum damage. But this is the best part, guys. The moves that have a very long recovery window for Clive, while he's recovering from that, you could actually send Torgal in to juggle attack the enemy. Then Clive will recover and continue to follow up.
That's sick.
He can. I think we might have to do a full guide on Torgal alone, because the gameplay loop for Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a deep one. I can already tell from the limited portions and skills that I had access to. And by the way, not to overwhelm you guys with anything, all of this is entirely optional. You do not have to be a master or a pro at this game, but I will be making these videos to showcase to you guys the fun and crazy ways you can play this game, but there will also be very efficient and easy ways to go about it. I can already tell from the limited portions and skills I had access to, this game is going to be a crazy deep one. But based on what Yoshi P and the other devs said, so many people in the office had different builds from each other. So I'll be dedicating my time to finding what the best all-around and most efficient combination of icons and abilities will be. But that's going to take some time because of how great everything already is. Man, this was one of our longest videos we've had to make in a long time.
It's a really good video.
There's still way more to cover though, and we more than likely will be doing more videos, especially if I forgot to talk about anything important. But please, if you guys have any questions at all, I can finally answer them below. So comment below and let's get a discussion going. Final Fantasy 16 is a whole different experience that even non-action combat fans will appreciate, because the story and characters are doing something that I strongly believe will revolutionize the way games are
this game looks pretty cool, JCBF
being made. Final Fantasy 16 is my game of the year as of right now.
Wow.
And a lot of you guys will hopefully get to see what I mean when you finally get your hands on it soon. Thank you again, Square Enix, for the opportunity to play this game early and also to be one of the first outlets to talk about it with my community. I look forward to the next month ahead of us, as we are 1 month exactly away from Final Fantasy 16 being in our hands and finally able to play it. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy videos are on the way.
That was a great video.
And you do not want to miss them. My name is Blitz, and thanks for watching.
That was a really good video. Shout out to Blitz. That was a sick video just to watch and like dissect. Okay, so to me, they didn't even get into, Blitz didn't even get into like the icons, like becoming like the godlike beings and having those moments. But that's like a whole other thing too. No, the main character's named Clive, sorry. The main character's named Clive. The dog's name is Torgal. Very weirdly similar to Turgle from the Jedi game. But Torgal. But Torgal's the dog, Clive is the main character, Joshua's the little brother, Sid's Clive's friend, and then Jill is like the ice lady who can, I guess, is Clive's best friend as well. I don't know. Or maybe more than just friends. Who knows? Do we ship them yet? I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I didn't even get into like the icon fights, which again, like last thing I'll just quickly show because people are like kind of coming in here late, and then we'll play Zelda. Literally, like this will be like 10 seconds, guys. But remember, like at the end of the day, there's like these fights throughout the game, like sprinkled throughout the game, where you turn into Ifrit and you like literally are fighting it with a completely different moveset that could be like on rails or whatever they want to do.
Action combat as Clive
where is it? Like it might be like a shooter at some moments, or it might be a wrestling match.
These battles differ depending
like
player with devastating attacks that encompass the
like
entire
there's just so much to this game. Like, what is happening, bro?
But if you can do it.
I equate them to Sonic Frontiers. Like, literally when you go Super Sonic and Sonic Frontiers and you're fighting these, like, giant things. That's what it reminds me of. Like, look at this. Like, it's a whole different moveset. Like, this bit. This is the bit. That's gameplay. That's gameplay, bro. How is that gameplay, dude? What is going on? You're like running on the side of a giant, like, god. What is happening? It's cutting to cinematics. Or, like, not cutting, it's just transitioning to cinematics. Who knows, dude? Who freaking knows? So I'm stoked. I'm stoked. Like that's like the other thing. You're gonna have obviously Clive with this sword, like the normal gameplay, but then you're gonna get to these moments where it's just gonna go like all out bombastic gods clashing. And then maybe you take the powers of the gods or something. That's how you get more abilities throughout the game. Who knows? But yeah, my PS5, PS5 is gonna be cooking, chat. But yeah, that's me geeking out about Final Fantasy 16 for 3 hours on stream. Not 3 hours. It was like 2. I spent the first hour talking about other stuff. 2 hours though. I literally could talk about this game all day. I don't know why it's so exciting for me. It just looks really fun. Like just so simply looks really fun. And I just can't wait. And also remember, there is a character in the game that's called Mid.
All right, Clive. Still busy saving the world?
Mid. When did you get back?
Dude, that was my favorite thing from the State of Play. Like, everybody on Twitter was like, wait, what did he say? Did he just turn around and go, Mid?
Mid. When did you get back?
I don't know why it's so funny to me. Oh, it's like the whole build-up. Oh yeah, and also there's like you can go into the game and you're like, oh wow, you go to like the sanctuary in the game or whatever, and you can look at the lore of the world, like the state of the kingdom. You have like an updated state of the kingdom lore book thing that shows you what's going on in the world of the game. And if you're confused about what the nations are doing, and they upgrade or they update the lore as you progress the game. What is going on? Like, there's so much stuff in this game.
Find for you today.
Like, you add new entries to it. I must stop. I must stop. I must play Zelda, chat. It's time. I gotta stop. I'll literally talk about this all day. I gotta stop. I love it though. I'm excited. I am very excited.